What's going on, everybody? My apology for running behind. We are 14 minutes behind schedule, but we are here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I promise you, I'm not gonna be long tonight. I'm really not gonna be long tonight, y'all. I just went 4 hours in the previous live stream, but we covered a lot of information. And this live, we're only gonna do just a few videos. I think one of you all sent me over this. What in the world? It's Candace Owens 180. Oh, good grief. This is supposed to be okay. So this was her website. Y'all, you know what? Shit, my cat thinks. That was the Instagram tag. I saw that and started laughing my ass off. I was like, oh, she's so lame. Candace, you lame as hell. Her Instagram tag is shit my cat thinks. What child? You can't make this up. She sat back and said, yeah, that's a good idea. That's catchy. I'm gonna turn that into a tag for my Instagram. Candace, we got some information to look at, girl. Shout out to all of you all. How y'all doing? Oh, no reply. I got your email. It's fine. I got y'all emails. Thank y'all so much for let's see here. Thank y'all so much for responding. I am going to respond to Gary. He has reached out for a collab. I think he went live with Tamara Neely tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And I just so happened to see her post briefly. I haven't seen the live or anything, but I'm glad that she's getting all the great content creators is getting attention, and content creators are coming together collabing. We've had Milk Bar here. I look forward to him starting up his, live streams. Would love to collab with Artie Trolls. Of course, Jaywood and I always have a blast when we collab together. And Gary from Paramount Tactical has reached out, and I want to make sure you all were good with that. Okay? Because my supporters come first. My mods, that's why I don't let people come for you all like that. And I look out for you all, and you guys look out for me. And it's only right to just kind of gauge you all's feelings and thoughts on that before I responded to him. So the feedback I'm getting so far, you guys are cool. And I will respond to him and set up something. If anything changes, you all know you can email me. I still have not seen the last portion of that live stream. With whomever that guest was, I have no idea who that lady is. Never heard of her. But I definitely don't condone any of the Luxters here in the LLC being slighted. Not at all. Especially when, you're a strong supporter. No Reply is phenomenal in his research. So I definitely appreciate all of you all. But it's imperative for you all to know that I do care about how you all feel and what happens, and I don't want you all to feel like, oh, she doesn't even care. No, I gauged you all and asked, him if he was good with it. A couple of you guys actually, if you guys are good with it, and so far you guys have said yes. Like I said, if anything changes, let me know. It's that simple. God can open many doors and bless this platform as long as I try my best and strive to do the right thing, especially by you all. God will continue to bless this channel. Does that make sense? And the worst thing you can do is become prideful and arrogant. You guys keep me humble, and I appreciate that truly. So that's what I'm gonna be. And if you guys feel some type of way or something like that, by all means tell me. That way I'll know what's going on and how to move, and have a heads up. That way you guys don't feel like, I'm just kind of leaving you all hanging and not caring. No. No, if you guys are the backbone of this platform. So email me and let me know your thoughts. But if you guys are cool with me going and doing a collab with Gary, he's reached out and I can respond to him and give him my availabilities and we can make it happen. If not, please email me and let me know what's happening. And we'll go from there. All right. Sounds good. Happy Friday to you all. Love you guys. I appreciate you all support more than you know. Y'all ready to get to it? Hit his damn website. Candace. Oh, she's still a demon. And her cat ass cult members, but they still keep asking, well, why you don't see this and that? Because she don't run me. Candace don't control me. She controls nothing but her house and maybe George's closet. George, can you come out of the closet? Give the boys a rest for a minute. Put down the GQ magazine, George. Come out the closet. We need to have a conversation. Your girlfriend, your wife, sorry. What child? Your wife said that she was living with a boyfriend at 14 years old. You should be concerned. She's like, yeah, I was one of them. Proud of it, too. Y'all, we're going to pull up parts of the interview that her cousin did. Because I want you all to see it here from her relative that still is close to her, spend time with her. Never mentioned anything about her being kicked out of the house, being abandoned by her parents, being financially disowned, and living with some boyfriend for 6 months. Didn't even get the idea that Candace had any gripe with her parents from the cousin interview. I don't know what her relatives must be. Oh man, she must be paying her relatives a lot of money to keep their asses quiet. Because you think a couple of them would have spoken up and say, look, we don't appreciate nothing she's doing to Erica Kirk at all. And we're not co-signing on that. They seem to be cool with this. They don't say nothing. Candace, you're a clown. Thank you so much. Hey, Kate, how you doing, honey? Good evening, Dubstop. Said they still up there yet, child. We had a good time over there, honey. What's going on, Melinda? Everybody speak to everybody. Hey, Wyoming gal. Shout out to my boss. I appreciate all of you all. Don't stop. There they are. Yeah, we're here. We're here. Melinda, what is your ex? I look everywhere. Sifa, how you doing? Oh my God, I'm here on time. Let's see. Running from oh my goodness. Stay safe. Listen, we're praying for you over there. And pray for protection of all of y'all. I don't want anyone to lose their life. You can't make this up. Let's see. So stay safe, honey. I followed you. And if you guys follow me on X, I follow you right back. For some reason, X only allows you to follow, click the button so many times in a day or something. It times me out. It gives me a maximum cap on all the people. Because I have more people that I follow that follow me. Because I told you all, if y'all follow me, I'm going to follow you right back. So I still have a list of people to follow back. And X only allows you to do a certain number of people a day. What the hell is that about? It's like it wants me to get a subscription so bad. I don't know if I want to give Elon Musk any of my money. Yes, Tamira Neely was on Gary's channel tonight. Hey, Saint, what's going on? Okay, did you see Culture Proof from today? I have not. Yeah, I haven't. Oh man, I haven't seen a lot of stuff today. I was able to read you guys' emails. I just hadn't been able to respond. Tamira was great. Was she? Oh, I did watch them both and they were so good. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. We got a Roger Teal. Do you like Candace Owens? Y'all keep asking me that. Stop asking me that. I keep telling them, y'all come in here and ask me questions and then I answer it. You don't like it. I'm going to give commentary on Candace Owens. Candace does not pay my bills. Let me answer it like that. Candace does not pay my bills, so I owe her nothing. So my commentary and thoughts on her are what they are. Pure and simple. Candace, I owe you nothing, you clown. Can't make this up. Oh, what's going on? S-Files, how you doing? Excited to see you with Gary. Ah, okay, cool. That poor cat. I know, right? Colin says hello. Okay, let's see. We get through to some of you all. Scott. Oh, Juju, how you doing, honey? Kylie says, "What's going on?" Alfred Green, my house so small, I ain't got room. Do not closet. George stuck him in that closet. George, bring your ass out the closet, man. How you doing, honey? Thank you for the 5 Melinda. I appreciate it. LLC, I emailed you an article, Culture Proof showed, and it gave the name of the person involved in the NAACP lawsuit. What? How am I missing that? Oh, Coach. Okay, hold on. It gave the name of the person. Do you have a timestamp? You have a time? Can you give me a timestamp on that, and we can get to it? Let me save it to my watch later. Oh, please get me a timestamp on that, and we'll check that out. Oh man, I actually would love to interview uh the accused, those students that were involved, that she claimed was involved rather. I would love to interview them. So please get me the timestamp and we'll check that out. Absolutely. Y'all doing good? Doing well? In the meantime, we got some stuff to look at, y'all. Oh, we got some stuff to check out. We got content for days on Candace. Chabu. You're Candace. You're a moron. All right, we're gonna pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm trying to get the lineup. Milk Bar has a new video he dropped as well. And then of course I want to replay the portion of the video from the Russell Brand interview where Candace flat out said that she was kicked out of the house and for reasons went live with some boyfriend. We have no idea how old he was when she was 14. And then her cousin did an interview, said nothing to corroborate that. Chicks on the right, Marlon with both sides. We got a great lineup. Y'all ready? We got to get to it. And then, of course, we're going to end with some Army tonight. He got a video. Let's see here. I haven't seen this video he did about the hockey thing. So we're going to check that out. This is going to be funny. Oh, Army, mommy loves you. All right. Let's do this. Thank y'all so much for watching. Look, hit that like button as you come in. Push these videos up in that algorithm. Hit that like button. Candace, you did say you live with your boyfriend at 14. Can't make this up. Fast tail heifer. Oh my good God. So yes, you guys let me know what good day will be next week. And I will be responding to Gary to set up a collab with him. I'm excited for it. As long as you guys are good with it, I hope your day been going well. But Candace's cousin was the one that went to the meeting with Erica. Yes, she was. That's why I just don't understand why the cousin didn't corroborate the Candace saying that she was kicked out the house at 14 and went and lived with her boyfriend for 6 months. When Candace claimed that her grandfather was influential in her life. And I just find it hard to believe that her grandfather would not allow her to come live with him, for 6 months. But somehow she could live with some boyfriend. And God knows where. His parents' home, his own apartment. How old is this boyfriend again? Who is the boyfriend? You can't make this up. Yeah, it's so crazy. Oh, yeah, we're going to get a lot of bots and stuff like that in here. Candace Owens can kick bricks. Josh Carr made a series on Candace. Y'all, we're watching a little clip here. Oh, my God. We're watching the clip. Candace. All right. I want to get all you as many comments in as I can. Is this the family Is this the podcast to contribute to the family of Jesse Jackson? What? Jesse Jackson? What does he have to do with my channel? Y'all were going to laugh tonight. What's going on? How you doing, Deb? Why are you talking about Jesse Jackson? I don't know nothing about no Jesse Jackson. All right, y'all, let's get to this. Put a 1 in the chat when you can see it here. Let's go. This is a trailer.
I would like to
highlight. Oh my God. What is that? It? Did he actually post a video? Oh, this trailer. Oh my God, this trailer's good. Did he actually post a video for the series? He did. That's what I've been waiting on. He just posted it 6 hours ago, y'all. Oh, yay! We're watching it. We'll watch this after Milk Bar. I have been waiting on that. Woo! Josh Carr, honey, I don't know who you are, honey, but I love that trailer, and you're so in the lineup. Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to watch that after Milk Bar. Let's go.
Highlight the time.
Hold on. Make sure you guys show some love to Milk Bar as well. I'm so glad he's highlighting this whole thing where she defends, ex-offenders and perps and stuff. People who she would probably never leave her daughter around alone. But Candace, maybe your 14-year-old version of yourself would. Oh, God.
I would like to highlight the time that Candace Owens defended convicted child molester back in August 2023. Now, Candace Owens repeatedly names the alleged victim. I will, however, cut out all these mentions of her name. Instead, you'll hear my voice saying minor's name.
So who is
minor's name? She did this because this minor is also the alleged victim of the Tate brothers.
It's relevant to this case to discuss her history before she ever met a Tate brother.
That's right. Her husband's good buddy, Andrew Tate.
On multiple occasions, she has accused innocent men of horrific crimes, resulting in their unjust incarceration.
58-year-old Keith Fox posed for a mugshot Tuesday. Police say he had sex with a 15-year-old girl.
Essentially, it was believed that she was having sexual relations with him, and the courts found that to be true. And he is now been sentenced to 24 years in prison.
And he was not only convicted of molesting her, but convicted of molesting another minor as well.
There were 2 girls that were involved in that case, just to be clear, and one of the girls admitted flat out to having an outright sexual relationship with him, including sexual intercourse.
Now, what does Candace Owens do? She beeps the name of the convicted child molester.
The only reason I'm not going to name him is because at the time of the allegations against him,
minor's name
was in fact a minor, and that of course is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here.
Yes, she beeps the name of the convicted child molester, yet she names the molested child over and over again.
Throughout this episode, by the way, you're going to hear some beeps when I'm discussing this case. If I accidentally say his name, we intend to just beep it out.
Because she doesn't want you to look into the case to realize that there's no basis for this narrative that she's attempting to push.
And not expose his name so that people can look up the case because, as I said, she was underage at the time.
His name is Keith Fox, okay? That's who she's beeping the name of, and you can look it up. It is publicly available.
The arrest report shows that the teen's mother hired a private investigator.
Candace, this is why your cult base come here and still, misspell your name, because you teach them nothing. It is public information. You cannot keep the public from getting a hold of these documents. But you're putting the victim out there who was an underage girl just because your fast tail ass wanted to run around here and live with your boyfriend for 6 months. God knows how old that man was. Does not mean that every 14, 15-year-old girl agrees to be in this type of relationship or situation. But I dare you leave your daughter with this man alone. Let your daughter turn 14 and then drop her off to Keith Fox's prison cell and walk away. Let's see what happens.
investigator to follow her daughter and Fox. Last June, while Fox's wife was away on business, the investigator saw the teen at the front window of Fox's home, quote, in the nude, touching one another in a sexual manner.
It started off with just a very close relationship between a teen student and her yoga instructor. He made a few inappropriate comments.
Police say those escalated to several serious allegations against Fox.
Is serving a prison sentence. His life has pretty much been destroyed here.
Candace Owens wants you to feel sorry for the convicted child molester.
His
who
life
has
is
two
so,
victims,
oh my God.
aged 12 to 15. That's who Candace Owens is.
Performed deviant sexual acts in the bedroom, such as urinating on her during intercourse.
I would like people
Oh
to
my
ask
God,
Candace
she
Owens,
thinks that's okay.
do you stand by your defense of Keith Fox? And more importantly, why did you beep the name of Keith Fox, the convicted child molester, while you named the molested child? Please defend this journalistically, morally, ethically, on any grounds whatsoever. And she won't be able to. She'll probably lie.
Welcome to episode 1 of my...
Y'all, let's get going on this. Yes, I literally made an executive decision to watch Joshua Carr. Oh, man, we checked out Tamira Neely's investigation on Candace, and now he's got a series on her, and I'm excited for it. We saw the trailer. Now we're going to see the full episode, and this is episode 1. Y'all ready? This is going to be exciting. Let me just get some comments in right quick. Oh, I'm so excited. I was waiting for this video to drop. Oh, my good grief. Oh, we get some new people up in here. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. Hit that like button. What is George and his club members are doing to Candace? You know, that Bulling Down Club is something else. We've gone over those videos too about the backdrop to this Bulling Down Club. You know, George comes from an era where he thinks it's cool to smash restaurants and destroy property. Or, you know, go out and shoot mice and line them up on the beach and take pictures in tuxedos. That's fun time for him. It's depraved. Like, what are you doing? Who brags about killing rodents? And then dress up to go to the beach. What kind of initiation is that? They look hot. They all hugged up, lining each other in a semicircle behind these dead rodents that they've shot and taken out on the beach. Like somehow that's cute. What did they do with them dead rodents after? They just put them in the water? Oh, God. Ooh, it's so gross. It's gross. Yes, y'all, listen. We get ready to hit that like button. We're going to get into it. There is no defense. She's evil. Absolutely. Thank you, Melinda. Shout out to Melinda. You all, she just gifted 5 LLC memberships. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, Melinda, for the support. I appreciate it. If you guys want to support the channel, supers, get cash up and scroll it, all these good things. Thank you so much. But more importantly, hit the like button. That includes the Candy Ass Cult members. And please come up with original questions, Candy Ass Cult members. You're coming in here asking the same thing over and over again. And you're not going to like my response. I keep telling you that. You enter my chat at your own peril. At least ask something more intelligent. You can't make this up. All right, Cadence, Karen. How you doing, honey? How you doing, Nuripla? What's going on? Oh, thank you so much. We love you too, honey. Let's get to it. Joshua Carr, take it away, buddy.
Series Obsession with Charlie. I'll be showing you my in-depth investigation of who Candace Owens really is, her shady past, what she believes, and who funds her. And as Candace says, this will be no kerfluffle, guys. Today I'll also be showing you an exclusive phone call I had with one of Erica Kirk's best friends, someone who sees her regularly and has spoken to Candace recently as well. Now, just as Candace Owens began her fraudulent investigation of Erica Kirk with a story, I'd like to begin this series with a story of my own. Candace Amber Owens grew up in New York and Connecticut, and as she herself relates, she became a raging leftist after experiencing some racism in school and developing a close relationship with her grandfather who experienced discrimination in Jim Crow era North Carolina, Candace became an activist from the very beginning because of this. She was fueled by resentment for her living conditions and family difficulties, including 5 of her uncles and some of her cousins being in jail.
I have cousins that have spent time in prison, and it was just a part of my story growing up. And it wasn't particularly unique. It's a weird thing to say, but in the retrospect, like that seems normal to me. Like, we're going to go see your uncle in prison. Okay, sure. That's what you do.
I think that's normal for a lot of people.
Right.
From other people,
It's not
extraordinary.
Yeah, which really lets you know that you can create different simulations in different pockets of society. And until you travel outside of it to have a different experience, you think it's just the norm.
And thus began her career in activism. In high school, her and her mom, with the help of the NAACP, sued her school district and settled for $37,000. And from there, she went to study journalism, of course, at the University of Rhode Island. In 2015, remember, just 11 years ago, she founded an organization called Degree 180. Now, a lot of people have not heard of this. Degree 180 was a media company, and it was designed specifically to combat President Trump because this was when he was running for president for the first time. Degree 180 also featured celebrity gossip, topics surrounding love and marriage. And if that sounds familiar to you, it should, because anti-Donald Trump, celebrity gossip, love and marriage is exactly what she talks about on her show today, as we will get into. So this started from the very beginning. As part of Degree 180, Candace Owens also started something called Social Autopsy. Here is Candace from 10 years ago explaining what that is.
Introducing Social Autopsy, the first ever search database that compiles and allows the public to easily access the digital footprint of individuals and companies.
And thus began Candace Owens' doxing days, where, like any good leftist, she wanted to cancel people for anything they said on the internet. And despite pushing for its release, Social Autopsy was dead on arrival. There was harsh backlash. It never actually officially launched, thank goodness. And this began what Candace describes as her massive transformation, where she realized that cancel culture was wrong and she wanted to become a conservative. Now, before we get into where George Farmer and Kanye West and Charlie Kirk come into play, let me tell you the rules for this investigation. This goes for today's episode, for next week, and the week after that. You could call it maybe the architecture of my investigation, if you will. Now, I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm going to keep...
Oh, that's such a slight. Did he say architect? Candace, what Joshua Carr is trying to say is that you can't talk. Oh, I peeped at Joshua with your cute self. Yeah, Ami's still my boyfriend in this lifetime and in the next. I'm not going to betray him. Ami, mama loves you. You can't make this up. The architecture.
George Farmer and Kanye West and Charlie Kirk come into play. Let me tell you the rules for this investigation. This goes for today's episode, for next week, and the week after that. You could call it maybe the architecture of my investigation, if you will. Now, I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm going to be playing by the same rules as Candace Owens. This is not how I typically do my show, but if she can dish it out, she better be able to take it. So we're going to speculate. We're going to speculate a lot, and we will look very closely at her personal life because she's made it very clear that that is on the table, that she will bring children, widows, parents who are ailed into this. She'll bring her friend who was assassinated into this. And so all things are on the table for this investigation, and it might get a little bit nasty. And most importantly, we're just asking questions, guys. We're just asking questions. So from Social Autopsy, we see the beginning of a pattern for Candace Owens. Go where the money is. That is all. She was not an ideologue. She never was, because she went from a raging leftist to a conservative without any actual thing happening in her life other than failed businesses. She thought there was money in doxing people. When she realized people didn't like that, and when Trump won the election, she switched gears because she knew there was a new conservative wave happening in America. And this is where Charlie Kirk comes into play. At the exact time that Candace Owens' doxing company was fizzling out, Charlie Kirk and TPUSA were exploding. They went from raising $4 million a year, very good, by the way, and Charlie Kirk was only 23 at the time. They went from $4 million raised to $8 million raised the year that they hired Candace. And thus began the obsession of Charlie. Not an obsession of love, as I'll show you, but an obsession for the success and the power that he had. After being evicted from her apartment, she didn't pay rent for 6 months because I guess that's the kind of person she is. Candace started a YouTube channel called Red Pill Black and overnight crafted herself into a conservative despite never being a conservative. 2 months after that, TPUSA hired her because her YouTube channel exploded. Candace's rise in TPUSA was quick, but her fall from it was just as rapid. If there's one thing we can learn about Candace Owens throughout her story in general, is that she is an opportunist. She's very good at that. She does not have an ideological base, as I've said. She's not consistent other than chase the money. That is the consistent through her entire story, and she will do anything, and I mean anything to do that, as we'll get into. And so in her tenure at TPUSA, with a helpful endorsement from Kanye West, she started Blexit. Now, Blexit's a play on words, stands for Black Exit. It was about getting Black Americans to leave the progressive movement. And with Charlie Kirk's help, she was able to get many million-dollar donations from some very large conservative donors who had already donated to TPUSA. And Candace right there started to see the power that Charlie Kirk had. Over time, Kanye West would distance himself from her because she falsely used Kanye's name to sell merch for Blexit. She does a lot of just crazy stuff. She just says whatever she needs to say to get money. This was one example. And this is where Charlie Kirk and George Farmer come in even more. Candace is very ambitious. Candace did not want a piece of the pie. She wanted the whole pie. And I'm convinced, after all the research I've done, all the people that I've talked to in this process, that Candace Owens never loved Charlie. I know there's been a lot of speculation about this. Were they romantically involved? Did Candace really like Charlie, but he didn't like her back? I don't think it's true. I don't. And if you think about it, it never made any sense. Because how could Candace Owens ever have loved Charlie if she wasn't invited to the funeral, if she disparages his widow, if she's trying to destroy his life's work, TPUSA, or if she's trying to traumatize his kids, which they truly will have trauma one day when they grow up from seeing all
I hope
this.
they never see her.
One of the other reasons I believe this is from a conversation I had with Erica Kirk's best friend, who's been very involved over the last 15 years. Here is what she said to me.
Yeah, I mean, so you said you're Erica's friend. I mean, usually that's the...
Let me just pause here. We can all catch up. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts so far. This is so good. I will say this, in my own opinion. I think Candace at one point in the beginning did have a huge crush on him. And not just because she thought he was cute, but because of this potential. The potential to have this wealth and the power and the title. And probably felt that, I guess at some point he would grow on her and she would grow on him. And she saw that didn't happen. Because, I mean, all it takes is a little discernment. Not a bot, not a cult member. Discernment. That's what prayer can do for you. And God has no problem revealing someone to you. Giving you some level of discernment so you can sense whether or not this person is someone good in your life. Sometimes God brings people across our path to be either a temporary, influence or a permanent influence. And it's not always influence to where you're learning from them as far as what to do in life. You could also learn what not to do and what to avoid from people. So whether I'm learning something positive or negative, the idea is to learn. I have influences that have taught me strictly what I should not do. Like, don't get pregnant young. Don't go out and just start a business without a plan. Don't go out and just quit a job and you don't have another one lined up. There is certain life experiences, life lessons I've learned as far as what not to do from people, which have been just as pivotal as what to do. So learn what you can, whatever you're meant to get out of that person being in your life. Ask God to give you the wisdom and the discernment to see what it is you know, why is this person in my life? What's the purpose? What am I supposed to be doing for them? What are they supposed to do for me? What am I supposed to learn from them? And then once that's done, God will either move them out the way or he'll allow them to, you know, walk side by side, be a support for you. So far, I'm just digging this, and I've been waiting for this video to drop. But I do think she had some kinship. She did have some attraction for him because she saw what he represented as well. And women can be attracted to power and money, you know. And she realized he didn't like her like that back. And it just seemed like she kind of went out and Googled somebody and came across George Farmer. And he was like, yeah, okay, I'll bite. Oh, God. They had zero romance, no chemistry. It's like Candace and George Farmer is like the complete complete opposite, the antagonist of Charlie and Erica Kirk. Like, complete opposite. You met someone in the 18 days they proposed to you over a video call. You can't make this up. Y'all never even had a date. They primarily got to know each other over the phone. So if you believe what they say, zero romance, not even a kiss. God. George, you had no idea Yeasty was down there brewing. He popped up out of nowhere and was like, yeah. Candace. Y'all don't make me show you, Yeasty. Candace, here's the source. Told me you weren't very happy. Let me show y'all right quick. Hold on. Let me show y'all the source. I've been talking too. Candace, he told me everything. He said crack is wet. Something about you and Sugar Booger. He spilled the beans, Candace. This is my source, Candace. He spilled the beans. He said, boy, you still pee in the bed. Yeah, yeasty infection is just rotting your brain. He told on you, and I'm not even going to tell you everything he said right away. I'm just going to release it bit by bit. Y'all say what's up to Grimace. My source never lies. He never lies. He said he's been a part of Candace for many years, and you know he's never really said anything. He just kind of figured he would just kind of brood and replicate down. Candace, did you go pick up that Monostat 7? Crack is wet, girl. Her and her purple Sugar Booger or something else. Yeah. All right, Candace, let's get back to it. Joshua Carr, y'all. So he's pointed out some great things. And, you know, like I said, I personally think she was attracted to him at the beginning, to the power, to the money. And Charlie Kirk was a cutie pie. He's a cute kid, you know. So she probably would not have turned him away if he actually tried to date her. And he treated her like a little queen, you know. But, boy, then Erica Kirk showed up, and that was it. Let's get back to it.
The kind of thing that you would maybe talk to a friend about. Was there kind of a feeling of Candace is trying to, well, maybe at some point was trying to make an advance on Charlie, and so it wasn't appropriate for her to be around too much?
I don't think that was the case back then. Everybody speculated about that,
right.
You know, her feelings for Charlie. And,
right.
You know, and the video she has up on her account is the two of them, you know, way back when they were younger. And, you know, which kind of leads you to the delusion of, did she have feelings for him and all those kinds of things. I think this reasoning was more so the issue with Turning Point and Charlie and Blacksit and all that kind of stuff, which I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But I think that was more of that type of a decision than anything, that they had already parted their ways. They already understood kind of, you know, what the agenda was, and they just wanted no part of it.
So what we're referring to there is that at the same time as Blexit was growing, Charlie had began to date Erica. All of this happened at the same time. And at the same time as that, Candace Owens resigned from Turning Point USA after just a year, just a little bit over a year she was there. She was not there very long, and she essentially was fired. And this was in part because that she had made some pro-Hitler remarks. But I believe also, as Erica Kirk's friend says there, because Charlie could see that in addition to Candace having immense power to convince people to join the conservative movement, she was also willing to do whatever it took to take it over. And that is why they parted ways. I do believe that includes marrying Charlie Kirk, by the way. I truly believe Candace Owens would have done that if it meant she got to come out on top, even if she never loved him. Now, I don't know, but I know, if you know what I mean. And this is where George Farmer comes into play, guys, where we will center today's investigation where things get truly, truly shady. George Farmer grew up in an aristocratic family in the UK, and his father was known as Lord Farmer because he was in the upper parliament in the House of Lords, and they were very, very wealthy, very influential. And he went to Oxford, he went into finance, worked in hedge funds, and then he decided to play his hand at politics. And he ran an unsuccessful Brexit party campaign while Candace Owens at the same time was growing Blexit in America. They had never met before. And instead of trying to run again for office, he decided to get involved with Turning Point USA. So in December of 2018, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens arrived in London for their kickoff event. They were trying to create TP UK. And lo and behold, there was George Farmer, completely out of work, not in politics, at the same time while Candace Owens would also soon lose her job at TP USA just a few months later. And in only 17 days, Candace Owens and George Farmer were engaged. Never met before. They had a 17-day dating courtship, I guess, and then engaged. They had never met. Now, here's the deal, guys. Just so you know where I'm coming from, I'm fine with young people getting married quickly. I got married when I was 22. My wife was 21. We dated for 1 year to the day. So, and many consider that very fast. So, by most people's standards, I'm totally cool with that. But this was something completely different. And as Erica Kirk's friend told me, there was no romance involved at all. This was a purely business marriage.
And that's why he proposed to her. But there was absolutely no courting, no dating, no romance, no nothing.
Interesting.
And that's my point, which is kind of interesting how you then have the counterfeit of how she attacks Charlie and Erica.
Now, maybe you're saying, look, Josh, that conversation you had was just gossip. So why don't we hear from George Farmer himself?
When I met her, I was like, this is a woman who, she just commanded a power. It was very difficult to describe. Nothing romantic was said, you know, between that day and the day that we got engaged. Nothing romantic was said at all.
Yeah, because, you know, he's like, it's raining men, and she's not one. Or maybe. Don't make me pull up the Jermaine Stewart photo, Candace. He's not studying her at all. He probably only sees Candace when it's time to procreate. That's it.
You know, there was no overtures. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, nothing. He's too busy in the
didn't
closet.
go for dinner. Like, we didn't take it. Nothing.
Send her flowers.
No, nothing. Yeah, nothing. Exactly. And so I was very clear about that because it was.
Did I hear that? He said, I was very clear about that. Well, did we see this? I know. Y'all see this? He said flat out, I was very clear about that. As if he told her there would be no kissing, no hand holding, no PDA, no nothing. Y'all see that? I was very clear about that. As if he told her, I'm not getting you flowers. Don't ask me for no Valentine's candy. We're not going to dinner. Nothing. What? Who says that?
We didn't go for dinner. Like, we didn't take it. Nothing.
Send her flowers.
No, nothing. Yeah, nothing. Exactly. And so I was very clear about that because
he just said it out of nowhere. I was very clear about that. As if he told her, you will not be getting any of these things. This is the agreement. He makes it sound like an agreement right here. And I was very clear about that. I will not be buying your ass flowers. see this? This is unbelievable. Y'all, this is crazy. Y'all see this, right? He said this. I was very clear about that. Don't ask me for no kiss. Don't ask me to hug you. Don't ask me to sit here and hold your hand. You know, I might give you a little attention when it's time to give birth. Because, you know, I mean, you know, that could be very hard on the human body. But other than that, no. Go make me a sandwich and leave me alone. Y'all, he said I was very clear about this. She would not be getting romance out of me. Leave me in my closet. You can't make this up. Candace, George is sitting here basically confirming he was very clear there was nothing between you two. Nothing. None of that. And I was very clear about that. He said, I'm clear. This is not happening. Nothing. Nope. None of it. What kind of arrangement is this? Man, you hear lavender marriage and you kind of like, I've read about these things, but you're never really ready to hear someone in real time basically describe a lavender marriage. This is beyond an arranged marriage. At least, you know, they try to pretend like they like each other in an arranged marriage. In a lavender marriage, he's not studying her at all. The Candy ass is good with this. Did y'all hear George? Candy ass is, y'all might want to tell Candace, you know, he was very clear about that. He's going to be ignoring her and never buying her flowers. He's not going to show her any love or affection or none of that. Y'all should not be okay with this. You see the words right here. Exactly. And so I was very clear about that because he's about to give a reason why he did not want any flowers. No, nothing at all. We didn't go to dinner. We did none of that. No romance, no nothing.
Overtures. Like we didn't go for dinner. Like we didn't take it. Nothing.
Send her flowers.
No, nothing. Yeah, nothing. Exactly. And so I was very clear about that because
it's so mean.
It was almost like getting to know oneself in some ways. It was kind of a very strange experience, you know.
Candace Owens and George Farmer entered into a business marriage, and Candace knew that Charlie Kirk was already smitten with Erica Kirk at that point. And George Farmer knew that Candace Owens would propel him to the next phase of his career since his political career had completely failed. There was no courting, no romance. They got engaged 17 days later, and this is crazy. To commemorate their business marriage, they held their meeting in the appropriate business fashion over Zoom. He proposed over Zoom, guys. Tax season can suck, guys, but I want to introduce you to the people who do my taxes.
Clear about that. I don't do sponsorship. Come on now.
To the work, and again, it's only $76. No, worked 2 months.
Okay, I love Joshua. I don't do commercial for nobody.
Worked 2 months after meeting, George Farmer was named chairman of Turning Point UK. While George was running Turning Point UK.
So he married Candace to get the title. And then she realized, you know what, making that comment about Hitler and all that might have ruined my career. He's got money. He said, I was very clear about that. No romance, no prelude, no flowers, nothing. No, none of that. Oh my goodness, George, you can at least fake it till you make it. Yo, oh my God. You don't even see like beyond the wedding. Have you all ever seen any videos or photos? Let me say this. Have you all seen any videos of George and Candace like just over, like loving each other, hugging on each other, holding hands, having fun? He's flipping her around in a pool or something. That explains Candace grabbing that woman's butt when she was pregnant. Yeah, because he's like, oh, we're not doing any of that. You will not see me grab your butt. There will be no public display of affection at all. No PDA. Don't hold my hand. Don't even look at me. Y'all. George. Oh, the candy asses should be livid with George right now. He said, I made that clear. Very clear. You can't make this up. He said it out of his mouth. I made that very clear. Don't even look at me for longer than 6 seconds. If you look my way into my eyes, I'm going to tell you right now. I thought I told you. We do not make eye contact. I feel something came out of his mouth. Oh, man. Oh, I really hope they at least fake it around the kids. Because the kids needs to see the parents have some level of PDA here. Because if not, these kids are going to grow up in a cold household where mommy and daddy never hold hands at all. It might shock them to see somebody else and see two other people kiss each other because they don't see their parents do it. Y'all, you can't make this up. He said, I made that very clear.
Candace continued to do what she does best, chase the money, gossip. Candace grew her audience talking about celebrities at the Daily Wire and tried to launch an anti-woke banking startup before it collapsed completely. As her audience grew, George was able to leverage his business marriage with her into another business, Parler. Parler, if you didn't know, was a conservative competitor to Twitter before Elon Musk bought it. And remarkably, with almost no tech experience at all, George Farmer was able to join its C-suite first as a COO and then later as the CEO. And how was he able to do this? By leveraging his relationship with Candace Owens and having her drive her audience towards Parler. That was their main marketing mechanism to get conservatives over there. He had no experience in tech. He was struggling in his career until he could leverage Candace's large audience in exchange for leadership in the company. Unfortunately for them, Elon Musk later bought X and Parler was irrelevant and collapsed. Now, two things I should mention about George Farmer before we continue with Candace Owens. George Farmer has been friends with Andrew Tate for years. In fact, they say they've been friends from way before Andrew Tate was even famous. So he is deeply...
George, have you and Andrew Tate ever had boys club playtime in the closet together? It's okay. Living your truth, buddy. Have you ever had Andrew Tate come over and Candace is looking for you and him for many, many hours and find you two in the bathroom and the door locked? Like, it just, Oh my God, you can't make this up. Yeah, we've seen photos of him and his brother at this weird club where they were, intermingling with other men. Yeah, George, come out the closet. Just come out the damn closet. Why Candace of all people? Weren't there others that worked at TPUSA you could have married?
Involved with that. Obviously, Andrew Tate is involved in a Romanian human trafficking ring. And I find it very interesting that is the very thing that Candace has accused Erica Kirk of doing. Like, to a T. Throughout this episode, what you will see, and the next two as well, there's a common theme where Candace basically accuses Erica Kirk of everything that she, in reality, is doing. I 100% believe that she and George Farmer were covering for Andrew Tate and continue to cover for Andrew Tate. Now, here's another anecdote, as Candace says, about George Farmer.
Look, George said, listen, there is no way I'm telling one of my boyfriends. George got to be sitting in court just nervous, biting his fingernails. Oh, no. Did he just say he's guilty? Don't worry, Andrew. I will hire all the attorneys for you, baby. Yo, he shows more love to Andrew Tate than he does his business wife, Candace. Oh, man. Look, money does not buy happiness. This is why she's got so much time on her hands. If Candace was in a happy marriage, You know, a real one. You think she would sit here and make a series about some other man's wife? Or sit here and obsess over Charlie Kirk's assassination? Most real men would have looked at this and be like, look, honey, I don't know what's going on with you, but you need to snap the hell up out of this. You sitting here investigating a man that is deceased for 6 months straight. And yet, you know, those 6 months, Candace, you didn't pay rent in that apartment with that black mold. Yeah, you also didn't bother to take care of that yeasty infection either. You can't make this up. Why you couldn't have this much energy towards paying that damn rent? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So you expected someone to let you live somewhere for free. Y'all, the apartment complex community won by default judgment because Candace didn't even go to court. She didn't even show up for court. That's how little she cared. But yet, she believes that you should pull yourself up by the bootstraps, right? So why would she allow an apartment community to believe that somehow they're supposed to let her live somewhere for free? In black mold, she created in that apartment because she doesn't know how hot and cold things work. Candace has no idea how condensation works at all, nor can she spell or define the term. This is the same person that has no concept of what the freezing temperature for water is. Candace, what's 3 times 2? You can make this up.
He was accused of sexual assault in 2022, not for a woman, but for a man. This was from Raheem Kassam, who is also in the conservative movement in the UK in the early 2010s. And again, these allegations are from before Candace Owens left the Daily Wire. This is before the controversy with TPUSA. Here are some direct quotes from Kassam. Quote, "Farmer has sexually assaulted me. Candace blocked me for calling her sham marriage out. I know this from all angles." Again, this was in 2022. Candace Owens was still mainstream. She was still working for the Daily Wire. Charlie Kirk was alive. None of this had happened yet, and yet he says sham marriage. He continues, this was a little later. He said, quote, "He tried to kiss me on a drunken night out and then tried to grab my crotch another time when I bumped him at a bar. It's not worthy of much more conversation than that." Another quote, "Well, he tried to kiss me and grab my crotch, but maybe you don't think that's gay." Those events were, again, before Farmer married Candace Owens. So again, I'm not saying we know that George Farmer is gay, but we know. Returning to Candace and Charlie, it was very clear Charlie knew the power trip that Candace was on and that this was a business marriage through and through. Here is Erica Kirk's friend telling me that she was not invited to Charlie's wedding.
A lot of people were asking about that. And I said, they're like, well, we saw photos of Charlie and Erica at their wedding. I said, yeah, they were at their wedding. But you don't see any photos of Candace at Charlie and Erica's wedding. There's a reason for that.
And as we'll get into in the next episode, that
Erica Kirk said, "I'm not playing that nonsense with her." Oh, damn you now. She said, "Oh no, I see through that wench." Candace, Karen, you wench. This heifer got herself in a lavender marriage and still will not address these allegations against George. A grown man said you tried to kiss him and grab him in his no-no parts. What is wrong with you? And you're just going to ignore that? It's not going to go away until you address it, George. Bring your ass out that closet and address this allegation. Tell Andrew Tate you will put him on hold. Y'all, can you imagine that? George telling Candace, we will not kiss, we will not hold hands, we will not show any display of affection at all. And then he goes to a bar and tries to kiss and grab another grown man. You can't make this stuff up. Candace, this is writing itself. These episodes are writing itself. Someone tell Joshua Carr to check out the video of her saying that her parents kicked out the house and stopped financially caring for her. And, you know, She ended up living with a boyfriend at 14 years old for 6 months, by the way. And somehow Child Protective Services never got involved. Make that make sense.
Comes out next week. Candace was never truly friends with Charlie Kirk. She was never truly friends with Erica. All she wanted was to run TPUSA and be the head. And he fired her before she could take over. That's why she accuses all of her political opponents of trying to take over TPUSA when they're not, because that's exactly what she wanted to do.
Yep.
One of the big questions I think a lot of us have is what went wrong between Erica and Candace's meeting? They met a couple of months ago, as most of you know, and it's gone way south since then. Before that, Candace Owens was implying that Erica Kirk had something to do with Charlie's assassination. Now, obviously, she has launched a full-scale investigation into Erica. I asked Erica's friend about this. As it turns out, she actually called Candace herself. Again, this girl that I talked to in this recording talked to Candace for at least an hour and asked her herself what happened. And here is what she said.
I asked Candace, I said, okay, you had Erica for 4.5 hours. And I don't know if I said this on Grams or not, but I said, you had Erica for 4.5 hours. Why didn't you ask her any question that you wanted to ask her? Erica was gracious enough to fly down to Nashville to meet with Candace because Candace said she couldn't come up here and all these other which again, whatever, you can, but that's okay. So Erica's like, I'm going to go. And so I asked her that and she said, oh no, I wasn't on the destroying Erica train then. She said, I thought she was being unfairly judged. And I'm like, that's a complete lie because that's why Erica went.
Right.
I mean, she would not have gone down there if she would not have felt the need to have a face-to-face conversation. And that's why she did that, you know, and Erica did that because that's who she is. She wants to handle things at the highest level of integrity, not go back and forth over text messages and, you know, all the other kinds of stuff. And she even said, I thought it went pretty well. You know, she goes, I'm completely blindsided by how this has taken this turn.
We'll get more into that in the next.
As the Candy has cult members want blood. She's throwing them red meat. Candace is doing all of this for public relations and for clicks, views, likes, and money. And you know why? Because the cult members keep coming in the chat, confirming it by telling us how many views, clicks, likes, and subs and money she's making. They're so stupid. They don't know that they're proving my point and not hers. What you're doing is actually counterproductive because Candace is lying, saying it's not about that at all. While she turns around and brags about, oh, I'm #1 podcaster, to which she's not. You know, because here in this reality on Earth, Candace, we can Google. Until you beat Joe Rogan. You know what? Until you do right by me, Heifer. Until you beat Joe Rogan, you will never be #1. You can't make this up. Candace acts as if she has replaced Mr. Beast on YouTube. It is ridiculous. Candace, you're nowhere near Mr. Beast. Somehow, you got your dumb cult members having you believe, despite evidence and reading, that you're #1. But yet, you don't want people to come at you saying that you're doing this for views, clicks, likes, and money. Well, guess what? In order to even say or lie that you're #1, that is based on clicks, views, likes, and subs. People have to watch your videos, your content, to push you up in that algorithm. That is the only way you can be rated and ranked. That's it. You're not giving any quality anything. If you felt that you had evidence to prove that Erica Kirk committed a crime, you would have given that information to the authorities. You would have done it 6 months ago. But you haven't because you have no evidence. You can't prove Erica Kirk violated any law at all. Being weird is not illegal. Her cult members are weird, and some of them are depraved. You know, they think it's okay for a 14-year-old to go live with a boyfriend for 6 months, and child support services, child protective services, defects. Nobody is even involved or aware. It's not reported. Her parents weren't even questioned. Yeah, her cousin does. an interview and says nothing of the sort. And that's the same cousin that she still has hanging around her to this very day. Yeah, it's funny how the cousin corroborated nothing that Candace has said about her upbringing and her childhood. And you would think the cousin would know more than the candy ass cult members, because the cousin is the relative that has actually been in her life. Yeah, I would trust it if the cousin doesn't even corroborate that. The cousin probably has never seen that happen. Yo, you can't make this up. This is priceless, Joshua.
Next episode. But the plan for Candace Owens was always to marry into taking over a movement. Always. This is the girl she was. She wanted to marry Charlie to join with TPUSA. That dream died. So she chose George Farmer in Parlor. Seeing Charlie die brought back these memories. And seeing Erica Kirk now running TPUSA instead of her enraged Candace. That is what motivates her. So now, and this is clear as day to me, her plan is to destroy the organization at all costs. So here's my prediction, guys. Candace will be restarting what she began with Blexit. She will be rolling it out to everyone, and I think she's going to try to compete with TPUSA in an effort to destroy them. It is her mission, I truly believe, to try to control the conservative movement. This is how she will do it. Take it to the bank. Now, we've gotten through all of this together. I want to show you something I showed at the beginning of the show. Candace's high school yearbook. This flashed in the intro. If you look closely, the beginning of her yearbook starts with a quote. It says, "What lies behind us is a small matter compared to what lies within us." Here's what's interesting about that, guys. That quote is missing something. Usually the quote reads this: "What lies behind us and what lies in front of us is a small matter." Candace chose to omit that part, and I think it's for a reason. I think she always knew that what lied in front of her was big.
Hold on. Let me go back because I want you all to see this. What lies behind us is a small matter compared to what lies within us. To my dad for never giving up on me, and my mom for being my strength. To the Cribbins for never letting me give up. And Sean, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. These types of stories don't have endings. I'll be seeing you. So she's sitting here giving her mom and dad a shout out. And yet, we're going to see the portion of the Russell Brand interview where Candace completely contradicts that entire relationship with her parents by alleging that they threw her out of the house, stopped financially caring for her at 14 years old, and she was forced to live with some boyfriend for 6 months. But yet she never ever divulges as to why the parents would even think to throw her out of the house. And she wasn't their only child. She had 2 other sisters here. The cousin never corroborated that in the interview we're going to check out. And yet she gives props to her mom and dad. Is the boyfriend's name Sean? Is it Sean Cribbin? Is that it? No reply. You think you might be able to find something on Sean Cribbin? I just want to interview him. I want to know how old he was when Candace was living with him for 6 months. That's if that's the same boyfriend. You can't make this up. You all see that plain as day. To my dad for never giving up on me and my mom for being my strength. And yet they kicked you out the house when you were 14 and stopped taking care of you. Candace, Cadence. Oh, you dumb demon. How does that make sense, Candace? That is not consistent to what you said on Russell Brand's interview. You wouldn't even mention your parents if they kicked you out of the house for 6 months and they stopped financially caring for you. You never said when you moved back home, when they started back taking care of you financially. You never mentioned any of that. So you wanted people to believe that you had the worst of the worst of the worst childhood ever. And as opposed to you talking about your heritage and your ancestry and your lineage, where you've had relatives who were senators in position of power that had money, you probably could have asked them to help you with college. One was a member of the NAACP. What happened to that $37,500 settlement? You couldn't use any of that for school? You going to school for journalism and English, and you didn't think to get one scholarship or a grant? You can't make this stuff up. No, the parents kicked me out at 14. God knows why. And now all of a sudden in this yearbook, she's giving her mom and dad credit. Make it make sense?
Small matter. Candace chose to admit that part, and I think it's for a reason. I think she always knew that what lied in front of her was bigger than what was in her, and she wanted it to consume her. She wanted her ambition and her greed to consume her, and that's why she began her obsession with Charlie. Episode 2 will be coming out next week, guys. It will include some conversations I had with Candace's team. We will also dive into who Candace's sponsors are, where she is getting her money from, how much she's made. This conversation that I had with Erica Kirk's friend on today's show was about 45 minutes long. It was long, and I will be uploading all of it for members only to hear on YouTube. It will be released Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, if you want to support me, get really cool behind-the-scenes perks like this phone call, please join. It's only $2.99 if you sign up on an Apple device. For whatever reason, if you don't sign up on Apple, it's only $1.99, so just sign up on a different device. It doesn't make a difference to me. Don't give Apple more money. It helps support my work. I'll put a link to join in the description below. Also, if you're a Candace Owens fan and you've got something angry to say in the comments, I just want you to remember one thing. I'm just asking questions.
I want you all to remember one thing. I don't care how you feel. Oh, Joshua Carr. Give it up, everybody, for Joshua Carr. Well done. Well done. Oh, we're going to be tuning in. I've been waiting for that to drop right in the nick of time. Can you believe it? Oh, this is going to be so good. Oh, I don't have a membership over there. I want to hear the entire conversation. Candace, I want you to explain your yearbook post. Can you tell us who the hell Sean is and the scribes or scribbles? Who are you talking about? Was that a teacher? You said the scribbles. I'm assuming it's another family. Who is Sean? Was Sean the boyfriend? How old is he? Can't make this up. Oh my God. Yeah, just to see her give her mom and dad credit, and then she turns around and says this in an interview. Yeah, because we're gonna do it. I told you all we're here for it. So I want to just play this portion of the interview where she sits and talks about being, fake evicted and kicked out, even though, by her senior year, she's like thanking mom and dad and saying, you never gave up on me. Kicking you out the house is a sign they've given up on you. And you're 14 years old. You can't make this up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Listen here. I'm just, he said he's just asking questions. We're just enjoying the moment right now. Candace, you loud like hell in that yearbook, girl. Candace, you loud like hell in that yearbook. Y'all, Joshua did a great job. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Let's see here. Mirror says, why can't I see her? The live chat is also logging. So strange. I literally needed to close and open the live chat multiple times. I come here tomorrow. We're still talking about Kirk. She's still talking about Erica. Heck yeah. I'm just asking questions. Who can't see? What's going on? She can't see you either. You two being weird. Really? It's always weird. Y'all, these dumb bots get mad too, and they want to go out and report the channel, because free speech and things. And oh Lord, can you see and hear me? Well, can you hear me? Because my camera isn't on. Kirk is not old news. No need to move in. It's not old news. I need you all to spell check when y'all leaving these comments. The bots, child. No, there's a function for you guys. If you're on mobile, there's like 2 bars that will allow you to pull it On all comments, not top. Okay. All right, cool. Y'all can hear. All right. Hey, Jada Informer, how you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. Shout out to you. I'm good. Okay, cool. I want to make sure. All right. Y'all, let's get to this right here. Candace is going to tell us what the heck her parents did to her when she was 14 years old. Because she told Russell Brand this. And I just, it's such a contradiction to that yearbook message, Candace.
And propaganda, you learn how to function in society in the way that the government and society wants you to function. So I like to think that because I always had to earn my way through life, my parents couldn't afford to put me through school. My parents stopped paying for anything for me when I turned 14 years old. I was kicked out of my house and I was living with a boyfriend for 6 months. Like I was one of those kids, you know?
Wow.
And would her parents even attest to that and agree to that if we were to ask them? Candace, if I were to ask your parents if this is true, what do you think they'd truly say? Because I have a feeling you're lying. You do that often. Your yearbook message here in Joshua's video does not give the impression at all that they kicked you out of the house. Who takes time to even mention their parents if they kicked them out of the house? And you were a 14-year-old girl. Who was the boyfriend? Is it Sean? Was his name Sean, Candace? Because it's definitely not George. George said, I made that very clear. Do not ask to hold my hand. I want y'all to hear this again.
I was just extremely assertive. think about the function.
Where was you educated, Mel?
That's a very good question. I think I like to say that I was self-educated because you don't learn anything.
Yeah, because she never obtained 2 degrees like she said she did in 2 different videos. Y'all remember that? I'm waiting for the candy asses to force her to present her actual degrees to the public. Because she said she earned 2 degrees. They just believe what she say. No, we go on evidence. Where's the proof? Where are the actual degrees? She's saying here, she's self-educated. She's not even saying I have 2 degrees. If you obtain 2 degrees, you will be consistent in saying that you earned 2 degrees. By this point, she had not. She had already been to college and dropped out by 3rd year. At what point did she go back and earn 2 degrees? If it's the school of Rashad Ritchie, Candace, I'm going to drag you all over the internet. If you got 2 degrees from a degree mill and they're fake. Because now you're just laughing at people's faces with this degree. It's not even real.
School, you learn propaganda, you learn how to function in society in the way that the government and society wants you to function. So I like to think that because I always had to earn my way through life, my parents couldn't afford to put me through school. My parents stopped paying for anything for me when I turned 14 years old. I was kicked out of my house and I was living with a boyfriend for 6 months. Like I was one of those kids, you know?
Wow.
It's like, whose life is she describing right here? Is he really buying this? Y'all really think Russell Brand is believing it? I get the feeling he's squinting like this. He's like, wait, what? He's looking at this like, this can't be for real. Y'all really think that Russell Brand is buying this crap? It's crazy. She was kicked out of the house at 14 and she was living with some boyfriend for 6 months at 14. But her yearbook message, hi, Dad, thanks for never giving up. Mom, you are always my strength. You're not going to sit here and credit your parents. Didn't she say her grandfather was the most important person in her life? No mention of the grandfather in the yearbook. You can't make this stuff up, Candace. If I asked your parents if this is true, would they confirm this nonsense? Because why would your parents just kick you out the house and you're not their only child? You claim to have 2 sisters at least. Does she have any brothers? Does anyone know if she have brothers? I've never heard her mention brothers. I think it's just so weird. I don't think they would ever condone this nonsense. They would never, ever say, yeah, we kicked her out at 14. Yeah, she went to live with some boyfriend at 14. Who was this boyfriend? Your father, if he's a good man, would never, ever let you go live with some boyfriend at 14. You shouldn't even be thinking about boys. You should be thinking about your grades. Focus on your education. But I just can't see a loving father. And my dad was a great man. Passed away from prostate cancer in 2023. And one thing he shielded me from was me going out here, moving too fast with some boy. The very first date I went on, that young man had to come to church with me and ask my father if he can take me out on a date. And I was 16. Candace is saying she was kicked out and living with some boyfriend for 6 months at 14 years old. So unless the Candy ass co-members or some perps or something, you all should not be okay with hearing that. Y'all should be asking her a lot of questions on that. What the heck happened with your parents? Why weren't they reported to Child Protective Services? So school didn't report any of this? Did you go to school? What the heck is going on? What do you mean? You lived with your boyfriend for 6 months? What? And your father did nothing? He was cool with that? What could have occurred that was so bad and so heinous for them to kick Candace out of the house, stop caring for her financially, and then she makes it seem as if she didn't have a choice but to live with a boyfriend for 6 months? Never mind her grandparents. That grandfather she claims is the most important person in her life. He doesn't even come up in this at all. She couldn't go live with him. What real father would let their daughter live with their boyfriend at 14 years old for 6 months? The buffoonery of this nonsense. Candace, where are your parents at? I would love to corroborate this with them. And yet you credit them in your yearbook. Your grandfather didn't come to your rescue. You can't make this up. Maybe it was Andrew Tate. I'm just asking questions. And she didn't have any brothers? Is that what I'm saying? Because Russell Brand is not pushing back on this at all. He's not pushing back on this at all. He's not saying, hey, what occurred? Why would your parents kick you out of the house at 14? Your dad? But you had 2 other sisters? So why would they kick you out? What happened with the sisters? Have they ever did that to them? He didn't ask any follow-up with this. My father would have never let that happen. Are you kidding? My father was like, oh no, you want to go out on a date? That boy got to come ask me for permission. You're my responsibility. I know how these little boys move. My dad was like, I was 16 once upon a time. You kidding me? No, you need to come ask me if you want to take you out on a date. And that, to me, that's the best way to go. My father could get a read on somebody real quick. He was very discerning. You can't make this up. But now Candace's father just let her go live with some boy at 14 years old for 6 months. And on top of that, the boyfriend, unless he's a grown-ass man, because Candace goes out her way to defend these grown-ass perps and SOs. Unless he's a grown man, the kid would have had his parents like, look, he's not paying rent here. He doesn't have a job or anything like that. He can't take care of you. So if you're living with him, you're really living with his parents. Whoever his parent, his mom, dad, parents, whatever. Some guardian. Like, what the hell? How did you eat for 6 months? Like, who bought the groceries and stuff? How did this living arrangement go? You and this kid slept in the same bed, in the same room for 6 months. Nobody got pregnant. You can't make this up. Candace, You do realize somebody's going to reach out to your parents to try to confirm this. Reach out to your sisters. Reach out to some relative to see if this is true. You had a grandfather. You couldn't go live with your grandfather? Your father let this happen? Girl, bye, Felicia. This is absolutely absurd. You would think the candy asses would be so livid, they would go after the parents and say, how dare you kick our cult leader out of the house at 14 years old? How dare you? I would rather they be livid about that and then they go and challenge the parents to find out if that's true. Because then the parents should be held accountable for that and put in the hot seat. If that is true. If the parents kicked her out at 14, stopped taking care of her financially, meaning they weren't buying clothes, shoes, food, nothing, none of that. And then she's lived with some boyfriend for 6 months. Yeah, the candy asses should be all over that, going on to find out how do we get in touch with her parents? Because this is messed up. She was 14. She was a minor. She was a child, underaged. And yet her father let that happen. Her grandfather let that happen. Make it make sense. 14? That's some crazy stuff. Oh, Felicia. This is what she said. You talking about post this with no proof? The proof is coming out of her mouth. What do you mean? Well, why don't you ask her why is she making this up? Go ask her parents if this is true. This is what your cult leaders, this is what Candace just said. You mean what proof? She's saying it herself. I'm not theorizing this. This is what Candace Owens just said in this interview.
Yes.
And that I mean, even watching you, I've watched like quite a lot of your videos and interviews. You're a very powerful person. You're quite driven, aren't you? You've got a strong presence.
Yeah, and I've always had that. Like my teachers hated me growing up because
Why?
I was just extremely assertive. Think about the function.
Where was you educated, Mel?
This comes out of her
That's a very
mouth.
good question. I think I like to say that I was self-educated because you don't learn anything in
Yeah, because she didn't obtain not one degree, let alone two.
school. You learn propaganda. You learn how to function in society in the way that the government and society wants you to function. So I like to think that because I always had to earn my way through life, my parents couldn't afford to put me through school. My parents stopped paying for anything for me. When I turned 14 years old, I was kicked out of my house and I was living with a boyfriend for 6 months. Like I was.
What? She said it herself. What evidence do I need? Observer, what the hell evidence do I need to produce? She just said it herself. This is what I don't understand. What are the candy asses scared of? Why can't you all go and ask her parents? Did you pick up? Did y'all put her out at 14? Because she said it in this whole interview over here with Russell Brand. She's never corrected this, by the way. She's never came back and said, no, that didn't happen. Or it did. Here's the evidence and proof. Here's the boyfriend that I lived with for 6 months. Here's how I ate every day. I still went to school. Here's the evidence. She's the one making the dumbass allegation. Go ask her parents why was she kicked out of the house at 14. You people cannot be okay with that. You understand that's illegal. That will be negligent. Why not go after her parents on that and confirm that? You know, it would be, are they not? I guess bots aren't able to compute simple information. And the candy ass wonders why I call them stupid. You would think they would go after the parents and find out why. You can't make this up. Candace just said her parents kicked her out of the house at 14 years old. They stopped taking care of her financially. They stopped paying for anything. So that includes food, clothes, shoes. They said stop paying for anything for me. When I turned
14 years old, I was
because she was a minor. Candace. Did she forget that she told this dumbass lie? If the parents are lying, then go to them and get the truth. Get the truth out of the parents and find out why did they kick their 14-year-old minor child out of the damn house. the most important person in her life, grandfather, did nothing. Based on what we're hearing right here, she lived with her boyfriend for 6 months and not her grandfather, who probably would have taken her in and taken care of her. You really think her grandparents would have let that happen? And the grandfather is the most important person in her life, not her cult members, by the way. Just as an FYI to you all. This is crazy. Reach out to her parents and find out why they kicked this girl out of the house at 14, as she said right here.
Kicked out of my house, and I was living with a boyfriend for.
Look at that. She was kicked out of the house. Candace. Girl, you better, you're going to have to follow up on this one, Candace.
6 months. Like, I was one of the.
Living with a boyfriend for 6 months. You can't make this up. Let's go to her cousin interview, shall we?
You know,
I just want you all to just hear just a snippet of this cousin that's still in her life, by the way. That was at the meeting between Candace and Erica Kirk, because she was supposed to be sitting there to be, I guess intimidating. Ain't nobody scared of you, girl. But this is supposed to be the intimidation presence that Candace keeps around. She also said her cousin can't stand her either. Hey, anyone's going to ask this cousin, can you confirm if Candace was kicked out of the house at 14 years old and lived with a boyfriend for 6 months? What the hell happened? Why weren't her parents reported to Child Protective Services for being negligent? Candace was still a minor. Either that or Candace is lying. But to the candy asses, go find out from her parents. There's your mission. Your mission is talk to the parents and the grandparents and find out if that's true. And ask them why, if it is. Why would they kick her out at 14 years old? And she was a child. Minor. Can't make this up. Let's get to this. This is coming from Storm Monroe. This interview was done 3 years ago. This is Candace's cousin. Her name is Nesta Rose. So I think one of Candace's maiden name is Candace Amber Rose Owens. Am I saying that right? Rose, Rozay. And she kind of just gives some background information on Candace. To the Candy Ass cult members, don't feel jealous. Okay? This is her relative. She's known Candace a lot longer than you all have. It is what it is. So don't feel jealous when you see the cousin up here, okay? I'm still trying to put the candy asses on a mission to go find out why the parents kicked this girl out of 14.
A lot of people, we don't play those games really too much, so we rather stay away from it.
I understand that because the internet is very disrespectful, and so you mess around.
Okay, I'm gonna just see. Blah blah blah. Okay.
No, Candace Owens, don't hate Black people. Well, what I would say with Candace is very much aware and know that she's Black. She, of course, her whole family's Black. You know what I mean? So she have been around Black people. But as far as on her daily base, like growing up on a daily basis in her life, she was around more white people. You know what I mean? She grew up in Connecticut. So, all her friends was white, all the guys she ever dated. I don't think I ever known Candace to ever date a Black dude. Like her sisters.
Wow.
Yeah, like her sisters would date Black dudes, things like that. But Candace, I never seen her with a Black dude. And people don't know either. Like, I want to get the record straight, kind of with that too. Our grandfather is, if you look at him, he looked like a white man. With that being said, we have pure white, like close cousins. So, we're probably more white than anything, to be honest with you. So I just really think she's probably identified. She always did identify, in that aspect. So, even since we were kids, I remember having conversations, things like that. Cause I always thought it was kind of weird, she would be a little white girl, you know what I mean? Things like that too. Okay. But she always been like that. Is she not fronting? She not putting on. She literally always been like that. So
So Candace always been a media.
And you know what? I'm actually happy to hear that. So at least we know, like when we watch Candace Owens, we are authentically getting like who she is. Now, all of us as entertainers, we kind of put on a little bit for the camera. We got to make it good. You know what I mean? But she is who she is. So
yeah, she's not putting on. She's not putting on for the camera. Candace.
So when she cannot pronounce the word kerfuffle, she's not joking around. She literally cannot pronounce the word kerfluffle. Architecture. You can't make this up. So far, I haven't heard her say, her and her parents, man, they used to go at it. Her parents kicked her out at 14. She lived with some boyfriend for 6 months. None of that. Nope. Not at all.
Was born like that. Candace was born a leader. Candace was born with a smart mouth. Candace was born being outspoken. Just all that. Everything you see on the internet, what she give you is literally who Candace is. So she really not fronting. Like maybe she be capped a little bit with something.
What she cap
for the
about?
most part, she's who she is.
Nesta, what does she cap about? You care to expand on that capping part? Because so far she says she has 2 degrees and we have not seen one. And when asked about her education, she doesn't even mention I have 2 degrees. I actually have 2 degrees. I went back to school and got 2 degrees in journalism and in English. And I went to these schools and I took pictures of them. Like no evidence or proof of these 2 degrees obtained. Next, what is she capping about?
She is who she is. She is who she is. Yeah. I like that. And I like to tell people this too, right? Instead of saying you don't like somebody because everybody tell you not to like them, why don't you go check their stuff out?
That's what we're doing. Okay, I'm trying to see if I want her to talk more about her background.
Oh, it's like 20 first cousins. It's like 20 of us. And and she definitely been the outcast out of all of us, how she approached life, who she is, her character and things like that. So I will say that about her.
That's what's up. So you have good things to say about her, which is good. So let me ask you, she's a political commentator. Did you expect her to go that way, or was it kind of like a shock to the family?
Yeah, it was. Well, all right, so it was a shock at first, but literally now that I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, it kind of, excuse my language, but it kind of made sense. And in a sense, it made sense. Like looking at her whole life, it kind of made sense the lane she in. But me personally, no, I was shocked. I always thought she might have been maybe like a famous actor or something, doing something.
There you go. See, Candace wanted to be in Hollywood. See, here's one thing she's confirming. Candace wanted to be in Hollywood. You can't make this up. She wanted to be in Hollywood. So she's saying here, yep. I saw her more in Hollywood. That's it. And I'm like, okay, so why does she go in, attacking Hollywood then? If she wanted to be in Hollywood. And Candace already said, it's for her, this is a PR thing, right? Now, maybe her whole life is a PR. Who knows? But one thing I have not heard is, she had a rough upbringing and her parents, they didn't get along at all. And Candace, she said she got kicked out. That was true. She got kicked out at 14 years old. Candace, she doesn't have any brothers. You want to confirm that? I haven't heard Candace mention anything about having a brother. So I'm going to assume that the 2 sisters are it. Candace acts like she's got this middle child syndrome. So I'm assuming it's just 2 girls. This is something else. What's kind of sad? How you doing? She's always projected. She's jealous of Erica for being in pageants and fashion. Exactly. Candace tried to be in it and she didn't succeed. Now, and she's kind of like, I just give up. She wanted to be Hollywood and grew up Hartleyhood. Candace Owens story. Oh my God. Can someone please ask to the Candy asses? Can y'all please go after Candace's parents and ask them, did you all kick this girl out at 14 years old? Candace said it out of her own mouth and lived with a boyfriend for 6 months. Candace, is his name Sean? If his name is Sean, we're going to ask Sean how old he was at that time. Because statutory is still a thing. You 14 years old, you shouldn't be living with somebody that's 18 and older. At all. What is his name? What was his parents? Make it make sense? But her parents were never reported for that. Oh, okay.
And in the music industry and things like that. Because Candace always been, she's been in the industry since she was like 17. Like she know a lot of people in the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? So honestly, a lot of people that talk mess about her is probably like her biggest fan, low key, before she got popping. You know what I mean? Things like that. But no, seriously, she I honestly thought she was gonna be in the entertainment business. But then that when the politics hit, I was like, it really threw me off and threw me for a loop. But then, like I said, now where I'm at in my life now and where we all at in our life now, it kind of makes sense, if that makes sense to you.
Okay.
Because like my aunt always made sure they was on a straight path. Candace never got in trouble her whole life. I don't even think Candace.
She did. She was charged with harassment at 17. What you did not hear her say, her mom kicked her out of the house. Candace, there's a reason why I'm playing this interview. This is your cousin that you still keep around you to this very day, that knows your background and your upbringing. Why would you say that your parents kicked you out of the house? And as opposed to the Candy Ass Cult members asking the parents if that's true, they're sitting here trying to debunk what Candace said by saying, no, her parents lied. Go ask the parents. Yo, what these so-called impersonating investigators, aka Mommy Slews, that? So y'all just gonna refuse to ask the parents why they kicked Candace out the house at 14? Because that's what Candace said. Go ask them. And then ask, why weren't the parents reported for that? That's negligence. I'm not hearing this so far from the cousin, though, that she still keeps around her.
Ever even bust a grape. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? She never got in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, started a fight. Yeah, she got in a situation before. But, like, as far as, like, her starting to fight and things like
that. That situation being, her catching that harassment charge at 17, which is pretty serious. Oh, and the 3 girls, beating her up. And then her claiming that, she was getting racially attacked. So, yeah, okay. Not kicked out the house and having issues with the parents, though.
That she never been like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So she really has always been
my
about.
Aunt kept her on the straight and narrow. I want you all to see this because we're gonna go back to her saying that her parents kicked out the house at 14. She said my aunt insured that they was on a pretty straight and narrow. She said I don't think she ever got in trouble before. And when she says my aunt, she's talking about Candace's mother.
Because like my aunt always made sure they was on a straight path. Candace never got in trouble her whole life. I don't even think Candace ever even busted.
Does that sound like a mother that will kick her 14-year-old child out the house? If the mother made sure she was on the straight and narrow, how do we get to now Candace talking about, oh, my parents kicked me out the house at 14 and I lived with my boyfriend for 6 months. I was one of those types of kids. What does that mean? Your cousin can't even think of you getting in a fight. So your cousin said that your mother made sure that you and your 2 sisters went on a straight and narrow, on a straight path. And you're saying your parents kicked you out the house and stopped financially caring for you, Candace. How did we get here to this point where Candace is saying that? Why would she say that? Who is she trying to relate to here? Why would she lie and say that she was kicked out of the house by her parents at 14 years old? Lived with some boyfriend for 6 months. And then now you flip it around. You see why would she defend all these SOs and these grown men with these younger women, these underage girls? What the hell? Why lie about your past is bad? Why lie about having 2 degrees and you haven't produced evidence that you have 1? Why would Candace go out of her way to lie about her past? To lie about her background? Maybe because she wants it harder for people to figure out who she is, where she came from. She didn't have it that bad. Who is she trying to relate to? Candace is afraid to be who she really is. You know, someone who really wants to be in Hollywood. Candace, why? Most of your cult following are, you know, more progressive anyway. So I don't think they care if you want to be in Hollywood. They probably will clap for you and help you get there. I mean, what difference does it make? You don't need to lie about who you are, Candace, and where you came from. But that's a strong accusation to bring forth against your parents, saying that they kicked you out of the house at 14. And then that turns out to be a flat out lie. And your own relative can't even confirm that at all. Because that's a big deal. You get kicked out of the house at 14 years old as a teenage girl, and you living with your boyfriend for 6 months. That's a big ass deal. You got men in your family, you got your father, your grandfather, and they let that happen. Why lie? You can't make this up.
Great. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? She never got in a fight. You know what I mean? I mean, like, started a fight. Yeah, she got in a situation before, but like, as far as like, you know, her starting to fight and things like that, she never been like that.
Okay. So she really just always been about. It's kind of like she was born as an adult. What they say that she had an old soul.
Facts. That's the best way you
could lies.
I'm not even kidding you. That is the best way you could put it. You know, she always been super grown. Like, you know what I mean?
And fast.
Imagine
Candace, you're super fast. You were super fast. You're a fast tail. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. So she trying to be relatable, Zora. Yeah, that makes sense. And you know what's so crazy? Once again, you got the candy ass cult members in here trying to just brush it over like that wouldn't be a big deal. She doesn't need to be relatable to someone that's been kicked out of the house if that never happened to her. It just makes her look more and more like a liar. You don't ever need to say something like that to be relatable. That could put your parents in a line of fire. For what? And you go out and you say that your grandfather is the most important person in your life. Barely talk about your own parents. And then when you do mention them, it's something that is not even being corroborated by other relatives. I don't know anybody that can relate to that. I was not kicked out of the house at 14 years old. But see, the thing is, that never happened to Candace. No reason to lie about it. It makes the parents look bad and the grandparents look bad. And why would she want to do that? She's willing to sit here and attack their character and lie about her own upbringing to gain sympathy and to be relatable. And none of that is necessary. It's okay to say, you know, I came from a pretty good background. I had both parents in the house, good upbringing. Bless God for it every day. I mean, you know, everybody doesn't have to have this horrible situation. Why not brag on that? I had both parents in the house. Look at God. Won't he do it? And my grandparents. I had a strong support system. It's 21 cousins. I'm close to them. What is so wrong with just being honest and saying, you know, I didn't have a rough upbringing. I just didn't. Why would it be so wrong for her to say? Why? That makes no sense. And you know what? It's so crazy. That's how she chooses to be relatable. Y'all, this is crazy. Candace doesn't have to lie. She can just tell the truth. She had both parents in her life. She had a mom and a dad. They were married. She had grandparents. Her grandfather was a strong influence in her life. She had a strong family union. She wanted to go to Hollywood. She knew celebrities. Why did she have to lie about that? It's like she's ashamed of who she is. And it makes it easier to understand why she goes out on the attack on Erica Kirk. Candace, is your life not good enough for you? Can you not be grateful for what you've had in your life? I mean, it's bad enough you in this lavender marriage. George said, I was very clear on that. Now the candy asses won't be mad at George at all for saying he was not going to give her any flowers or hold her hand or any romance or anything, because he was very clear on that. But she lied about her parents putting her out the house at 14.
Now that's her when she was like mad little. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. What was your relationship with her like coming up?
We were really close. I'm 3 weeks older than her. Our moms and another one of their sisters were all pregnant at the same time. So 4 of us was born at the same in the same year. Like I said, I'm 3 weeks older than Candace, and then we have a boy. I'm a twin, and then we have a boy cousin was born like 2-3 months after us. So growing up, everybody knew us as the '89 crew. You know what I mean? We all were super close. Plenty of pictures. Teenage years, younger, and things like that. You know what I mean? Basically, honestly, our whole family grew up really close. All our first cousins, we all grew up super, super close. But Candace always had to select who she dealt with, though. You know what I mean? And the '89 crew, we were definitely the ones, like, we're all close. So.
Okay, that's dope.
Yes, it is. Candace had a close family. Look, why? So what is the deal? Why would she say that her mom and dad, her parents, kicked her out of the house at 14? Why would she
you learn how
say
to
that?
function?
Why? Why would she need to say this? Her cousin, who I just said the family grew up close. What's wrong with saying that if that's the truth? What's wrong with saying you had both parents in the house? What's wrong with saying you had a close unit? What's wrong with saying you had your grandparents? What is wrong with her being honest and truthful about her background? You know why Candace said this? This nonsense right here? It's because she wants to paint her life to be the most an absolute deplorable, so that people can give her sympathy and say, oh, look at how she came from nothing and grew up and became something. Oh no, her parents kicked her out. Oh no. As opposed to them going to the parents, finding them on social media and saying, is any of this true? And why would you kick out a 14-year-old child? No, they just rather sit back and just believe it. But yet the cousin just said that the aunt made sure they was on the straight path, her and her 2 sisters. So how did we get here? How did we get to this point?
In propaganda, you learn how to function in society in the way that the government and society wants you to function. So I like to think that because I always had to earn my way through life, my parents couldn't afford to put me through school. My parents stopped paying for anything for me. When I turned 14 years old, I was kicked out of my house and I was living with a boyfriend for 6 months. Like I was one of those.
How does that line up with what the cousin just said? All these cousins, so no other relatives would allow her to live with them? The '89 crew, none of them? Her grandparents? What the heck happened between her and her parents that led to her being kicked out and living with a boyfriend for 6 months? You don't think she would have told those cousins she was close to? They would have told their parents, and those parents would have gotten on her mama real good. And her dad. If her father was a good father, he would have never allowed his 14-year-old daughter to be kicked out of the house and go live with some boyfriend for 6 months. Nothing like what the cousin said. The aunt always made sure that they were on the straight path. She said, I don't even think she ever even got in trouble. How did we get here? Kicked out at 14. How did we get here? Like, this is so crazy. And the cousins she's close to, kids, 14-year-olds, they teenagers, they blab about everything. There is no way she's going to have some boyfriend she's living with for 6 months and she not tell her closest cousins. They would not have kept that a secret because more than likely they would have been concerned. Your parents kicked you out the house? What the heck? But if this turns out to be a flat out lie, why would Candace need to lie about this? This is how she's garnering sympathy and attention. Let me lie and say the worst thing ever about my background and hope no one ever reach out to my parents to corroborate this. Candace, if I reached out to your parents, what would they say? Because if you lied about this is a dumb lie. And it could really cost your parents a great deal of credibility. Can't make this up. Even if you have to earn your way to get certain things, her parents didn't just cut her off at 14 and stop taking care of her. How did she buy clothes and shoes at 14 living with a boyfriend? Who is his parents again? Candace. She said this. This came out of her mouth, people. You can't make this up. I wouldn't even want to make something like this up. I don't know how her father slept peacefully for 6 months knowing his 14-year-old little girl was out here living with some boyfriend. I don't think he would have slept peacefully. And he had 2 other daughters. This didn't happen with the other girls. You can't make this stuff up, man. This is priceless. Yeah, we have one more video, and I just want people to see here. You know, this background is crazy. The obsession is crazy. Melinda, did you give me the timestamp? Are you able to get me the timestamp for the culture proof video? So we can check that out. I think that was a let's check out the chicks on the, it's just the 2 chicks on the right. They did this video here. Oh, we all know Candace is just obsessed at this point. You know why? Because Candace said it herself. She said, I'm just obsessed over this Charlie Kirk assassination. She said, I'm obsessed over Erica Kirk. These words have come out of her mouth. That's why we have the closed captions on when we review her videos. So shout out to the chicks on the right. Because I think they have a great way of expressing the frustration that I feel coming from them through the screen. And it's crazy to say you have an obsession over another woman. Candace. Are you ever going to explain that photo of you taking a picture with a woman grabbing her butt? Yeah. Can't make this out. Never mind, George will never ever address the allegation of him trying to kiss and grab another man in his no parts. Oh, good grief. But yet, you know, they think it's cute for her to say everything's fake and gay. Is it now? Is it now? You know, because we have some photos of Candace acting like, you know, she's fake and gay. Candace, just living your truth. You can't make this up. All right. Put a 1 in the chat where y'all can see it here. Let's get to this.
It's getting almost funny. Her insanity now
I've been laughing.
I don't think it's affecting me to the point where I just am like outraged by the evil as much as now she's become a character, like a cartoon character version of herself.
She's a caricature of a person.
Yeah. Like she's just become so ridiculous that it's becoming amusing.
Yeah. I mean, she's a person. She's like, toddlers wake up at 2:45 in the morning. That's ridiculous.
They're sleep trained. Every toddler is sleep trained.
Only if you don't raise them. Okay.
Right. So apparently in yesterday's show, I saw a couple of clips going around and I just thought, oh my gosh, these have to be shared. So she really showed her crazy. Like it was out in full force yesterday. And specifically, she is so spiteful that she is admitting that even though the Erica Kirk series was just going to be a 3-show series, that now that people are outing her staff, she has the mind to make it a year-long thing.
Okay, wait,
oh my dear Lord.
Is it over? Like, is that series over now? She's put everything
it was
out?
Supposed to be, but now she just keeps talking about her, and so I think that's her show now.
So there wasn't anything that came out of that other than she just said she made personal attacks against Erica. That's it. right?
Well, she basically combed through like every moment of Erica's entire childhood and upbringing and pointed, and like what that proved is 100% of nothing.
Exactly. Right.
It proved nothing.
Yeah.
So it's utterly ridiculous, but this just gives you a sense of how psychotic this woman is. And the fact that she's saying it out loud. I mean, if she thinks this makes her look good.
Everybody out there as we get closer to being finished with this series.
Candace, why your voice all deep and raspy like this? This is so weird. I haven't heard her all week. Candace, why you sound so raspy and exhausted, girl? I thought, this was fun for you and all. How much does the Candy Ass Cult members want as far as, red meat being thrown their way? Because they're loving this, by the way. They love the fact that they're sitting here digging into the life of Erica Kirk, whom they consider to be weird and suspicious. And, it's like, well, you could be learning another language or something. You could be learning anything else. Multiplication tables. The Candy Ass is quick. What's 9 times 4? Be quick about it. 9 times 4. Hurry up. They could be learning trigonometry, conquering science, English, language arts, grammar, syntax. They probably could have built monuments in the time that they spend sitting here trying to figure out exactly how much more weird Erica Kirk is to them. Because reasons. I would love to know if Erica Kirk is paying their rent. Because, this obsession is, on the level to where it's like, is this person paying your bills and taking care of you? Because if not, she literally doesn't even have to exist in your world. And it should not alter your life at all. That's where we at. Candace, man, you have no idea. I'm not watching your dumbass series, girl. You violating the whole Bible, messing with widows and stuff. I don't expect the Candy Ass Cult members to read the Bible either, but there's several scriptures that says leave widows alone. So I'm not going to support spiritually anything like this where you attacking a widow. Candace, you're not a widow. And yet you act like you are. It's not our fault that you got into a lavender marriage. And she gets mad and blames, puts out her venom and animus on us. Because we're laughing at her obsessing over another woman. Oh, don't make me pull up the photo, Candace. I'll do it. Shout out to the chicks on the right. They say exactly what needs to be said, and I love it. We're here for it.
It was only supposed to be 3 episodes, but because they posted Savannah's baby, I was like, oh no, you're getting a whole extra week. You don't post infants on the internet. You just don't.
Oh no, but you posted up Erica Kirk's yearbook photo of her in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. So it's okay if they're 5 or 6 years old, or 7 or 8 or 9. But off limits if they're 2 months. No, I don't advocate for anybody's child to be posted up. That's why, Candace, I don't post your kids up. I don't need to. I will never ever use your kids as a thumbnail or show them or anything in my videos. It's not necessary. Unless she posts up something and it just comes up in her show. I would never think to go out my way to post up Candace's kids. For what? It's not necessary. They can't help who their parents are. Lavender marriage and all. George meant that when he said no public display of affection. He's not even buying you flowers, Candace. You should feel some type of way. Well, Valentine's Day must be rough around that house and Mother's Day. Candace gets no love or flowers for Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. George said, I've made that very clear. The Candy Ass Cult members should be so mad at him. How dare you not give our cult leader flowers? How dare you? She gave birth to 4 of your kids.
Post infants on the internet. And then I added another episode because somebody called Skylar and left a message. So this is how I play. We can go a whole year. I can do a whole year. Brigitte got a season 2 because she sued me. Brigitte was supposed to just be.
She has the right to sue. So does Erica Kirk of TPUSA. You act as if laws don't apply to everybody. Nope. Defamation is not protected free speech, Candace. And just because you don't want to read the law does not mean you will not learn that the hard way. You got court next month to the Candy Asses. Make sure y'all cult leader goes to court next month. We're gonna do an update on the lawsuit. Court, I think, is on April 26th. Candace, take your ass to court. Make sure she's at court next month. Since you guys want to get her to the discovery phase, so do I. Whatever. There's one thing we agree on. Get to the discovery phase, Candace. Why seek a dismissal? No, go all the way there, girl. And stop whining and crying about the lawsuit. Get over it.
An episode. And then she sent me a threat and she got a season. And then she sent me a lawsuit and she got a second season. So and you know, that's where I'm at right now.
Thank you for all that evidence.
So that's what it's all about. Okay. So like you can't attack her people, but she can attack everybody.
Right.
Look at grandma.
Absolutely everybody.
But again, who in their right mind wants to work for this crazy loon?
I don't know, but I love this oldified version of her.
Great.
Tyrez, the rapper, said on episode 200 of Bride of Charlie, we're finally cracking this case wide open.
Right.
Buckle up, because we're diving deep into Erica Kirk's cousin, the master criminal who once stole a salt shaker from Cracker Barrel. We're getting so close to the truth.
Y'all, she's sitting there looking every bit of 201 years old. Candace. You look like you've lived long enough to have had a conversation with Moses himself. What was it like? Can you ask Moses what was it like parting the Red Sea? I'm just so curious about that. Y'all. Oh my good grief. Candace looks like she's lived long enough to see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be conceived and born. Oh. She knows all about the 12 tribes of Judah. She was here on earth to witness Noah's Ark and the Great Flood. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Cadence. Yeah, she was on Noah's Ark. Right next to the giraffe and the hippopotamus. Yeah, she was on the boat. Candace. Tell Moses I said what's up. She believes in time travel and astral projections. This is absolutely hilarious. That means, Candace, you should be able to travel back 3,000 years in time and have a conversation with Moses. I'm just say, hey, how far out did you have to stretch your hand to part that Red Sea? Was it like a countdown between you and God? It was like 3, 2, 1, go. Or you raised your hand up and it just went. Did you see the fish swimming in the walls of the water on both sides of you? How long did it take for you all to get across the actual Red Sea on dry land? What did that fire, a cloud of fire by night, whatever you travel by night, God was guiding you out. What did that actually look like? Oh man, I got so many questions. Candace, it's not our fault that you look like every bit of 345 years old. You can't. Oh, good Lord have mercy. Oh, Candace. The catty ass cult members are so mad, but they won't ask your parents if they actually put you out of the house at 14 years old either. Oh man. Y'all, Candace looking like every bit of a mommy sleuth, you know, impersonating investigators. Oh, whoo child. She stepped straight out of the 15th century. You can't make this up. Candace, those astral projections is not good for your skin. Every time she comes through a portal, that girl turns 50 years older immediately. It's got to be those orange portals from Loki series. Y'all seen Loki? Oh man, it was such a good show. Marvel, here's your next test subject. Does time travel exist? Yes. Candace is the epitome of that right now in this. I'm just waiting for her to open up the green Infinity Stone and be done with it. Candace. Ooh, y'all, don't astral project. It's hard on the body. It ages you real quick. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, man, this is what happens when you give birth to an entire nation. Okay. Like, I've been giving birth for 400 years. I've been having babies. And George still will not hold my hand. Yeah, come over here. Let me tell you a bedtime story. Oh, these old bones. Oh, yeah. Yeasty is no longer yeast juice. It's like baby powder. When Candace P now comes out like dust. Poof. Yeah, I just went wee. Yo, you can imagine George walking in the room like, oh God, no. Oh no. I didn't ask for this. This is not what I signed up for, Candace. Is this playtime? I'm not in the mood. Nope. Going back to my closet. Candace scaring every living thing on earth. The Candy ass cult members, you all should be concerned right now. This is what happens when you drink ammonia. Candace, I can keep going. What time, y'all? This picture is epic. Shout out to High Res. This is a rapper. I've never heard of High Res. Y'all know what he does. I'm about to look him up. Oh Lord. Well done, High Res. I have no idea who that is.
It's so, and these people are lapping it up. There's still a couple like weird and crazy. So we're like, oh, I'm watching. Are you watching?
She's this close, you guys.
So close, you guys. We've waited 40 years. We're so close.
One of the other things that she did during this show yesterday is show just how like stalkery and like in love with Charlie and jealous of Erica she actually is.
Yeah.
So apparently when Candace and Charlie were in Israel, that like on a trip forever ago, back when Candace was normal, that is Erica was also there, and that's apparently where she laid eyes on Charlie. And Candace is mad that when Erica talks about that moment, she doesn't acknowledge the fact that Candace was with him, as if she has anything to do with their love story. This is how much of a lunatic she is.
Yeah, she is the woman scorned.
Totally.
It's so obvious.
Yeah,
Does her husband pay attention to this stuff?
No, George. I'm not the only one asking when the hell you coming out the closet. George said I didn't sign up for that. I've made it very clear. Okay. I don't care what she does. He doesn't give a damn.
Is he that gay? Like he just doesn't care.
I think he's like, oh, I'm so glad my wife has something to keep her occupied.
Right.
Thank you.
This obviously was a business deal, right? I mean,
oh, hell yeah.
Goodness.
So here is just the crazy. You're about to hear it for yourself.
Tell me, what happens? What happened with Turning Point USA? You just got lucky. You were on a pilgrimage, I guess. And there Charlie was at the airport in Israel. You saw him. Your mom said, go up to him. She's a pusher, right? Lori's a pusher. I always thought it was so strange how you never mentioned that I was at the airport with Charlie. Just thought that was so weird. You never said that. I saw Charlie with Candace because we were actually together for that trip.
What? This is
so interesting. Anyways, it's a tangled web that we weave, Erica. Fun little up.
She was so in love with him, you guys. She is literally
Candace. If I find out that you're boiling bunnies in a pot, I'm going to report you to the Animal Humane Society, and you're going to end up being locked up for many years to come. Remember how they treated Michael Vick with those dogs? Yeah, that's going to be Candace with bunny rabbits. You can't make this up. Candace, you looking like all of Basic Instinct right now. The grandma edition. Y'all, grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Candace got hit with bricks. You can make this. Candace. Grimace has a message for you, Candace. Let's get him up here. He wants to tell you something. Okay. Candace. Here it is. Here it is. He wants to tell you all something. Hold on. Here it is. Candace, please know that sugar booger is bad for you. Can you please stop sniffing it? Okay, you have so much going for yourself, and you have an entire cult to look after. Please, please lay off the sugar booger. Don't end up like me. Whatever you do, don't end up like me. You just drink a milkshake and smile. Please stop. Get off the sugar booger. It's no good. It's no good. Oh no. I'm melting. Candace. Candace, you gotta cut it out. Grimace is concerned. That sugar booger is something else. Oh, she sounds so exhausted. Candace, that's all your fault. I told you God has a way of getting your attention, heifer. It's just the beginning. Oh, he does. Won't he do it? Good Lord.
Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction.
Thank
you.
you.
Not be ignored,
Boy,
Dan.
Bunny Rabbit.
She is. I mean, somebody
she's
check
gonna
for
be
bunnies in
boiling bunny
pots. Boiling.
Right? Also, her jacket, you guys.
Lord.
This
She
is
is.
immediately what I thought.
Totally.
Immediately.
And you may
Tell
ask
me it's
yourself,
not the same.
how did I get here? I swear to God, she is so David Byrne. She is
Right? I mean,
she's Black David Byrne. She's David Blurn. She's.
I mean, you.
Now, who the heck is David Blurn? I thought this was AI. This is a real person. Are you serious? Is this David Blurn? Yo, who is he? What does he do? Oh, crap, Candace. See, now you're making me look somebody up. David Blurn? I thought this was AI. That's a real person. Oh my God. Am I saying it right? Blurn or blind? Burn? Candace. What the hell? Oh my God, Candace, this is something else. these photos are funny as hell. Oh, Candace, you catching it.
Guys, what is this?
What is
What
it?
is that? And it's not even, I don't even think it's shoulder pads. It's just like the cut of it is so wide.
It's every day the shoulder pads get worse and worse. She is totally David Byrne.
And then lastly, on this topic, there was a hilarious tweet, but it was so right on. Do you guys remember when Candace was so earnest about the Israeli-French assassination attempt that was being made on her, that was being plotted against her, I should say? You know, she was like, I texted people about it at the White House because they're trying to assassinate me. Bitch, but if Israel wanted you gone,
they would have already
you would be gone. Okay.
You would have been gone like 6 years ago.
Man.
Okay?
It's such an absurd.
Oh my God.
And of course, she never talks about it anymore, ever. And so I love this tweet from Kamal Amin Tibet, who said, amazing that Israel was able to kill the whole military leadership echelon in Iran, Lebanon, and Gaza, but that Candace has managed to evade the joint French-Israel assassination squad she talked about. Iran should ask her for security advice.
Totally. Absolutely. She really does evade that, right? So self-important.
What does matter is your safety online, and we have
y'all. That's epic. We got a timestamp for what y'all? Shout out to chicks on the right, honey. Those photos are funny. We got a timestamp. Okay, you said 51. 5150 something. This might be a good starting point right here. Y'all, shout out to Culture Proof. Well done. Shout out to Culture Proof. This is the timeline episode. We'll have to watch this whole thing, but I just want to see this before we get to Ami. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Candace, people are starting to ask how you ended up living with a boyfriend at 14 for 6 months. Your parents put you out. This is why you don't lie. All right, let's start at this point here. Let's hear what they have to say about this timeline.
What is the next thing? It's like it builds up this whole anticipation, but these things are never really connected, like ultimately. And so, man, that scripture, I think, perfectly shows what she's been doing and who she is. Like, man, and we have to be very, very careful and discerning as information is out there, not only from her, but from others, that we are not sucked in because of the way that it sounds. Like, oh man, it sounds like it could be, plausible and right. Man, we have to really be discerning.
Man, you're right. And I think about where we are as far as, what's at stake in the church. What is it that we're fighting for? What is it that we're trying to preserve? We're trying to preserve truth.
Amen.
And there's so many people that I believe if they're convinced that Candace Owens is right, that there will be other, deeper, more eternal matters that they might determine maybe she's right about that as well. And that's always been one of our aims to point out, like, hold on a second. This influence goes deeper than you might think. It goes farther than you can imagine that it would go. Like, you've got to understand what this influence is. So who's Candace Owens? Candace Owens was born in April 29th, 1989 in Stamford, Connecticut. And what's really interesting to me is that the time that she grew up in, if you look at, growing up in the 90s and all of that, and you think of what she describes, right? So she's growing up in one of the largest cities in Connecticut. She's growing up in a time where there's a lot of affluence in Connecticut because you've got people who are moving just out of New York, but they still kind of want to be, where they can be close to that sort of epicenter of business and trade and all of that. And so you would imagine that all around Candace, you've got affluent people. You've got people who are living, the Lindsay DeLeo's life. Yeah. Okay. But where is Candace growing up? Candace is growing up in government housing. She's growing up without a mother. She's growing up without a father. She's being taken care of from time to time by her grandfather and grandmother.
Right.
At least that's what she said in other places. We don't.
Okay, so here we go here. Here's another conflict. Candy asks, y'all got some homework to do. It's you all's job to help get information on your cult leader's parents and figure out why they will put her out at 14 and not the other two sisters. And then find out where they were, if they were missing. Because she said she got kicked out of the house at 14. Where were the two sisters at? There were 3 of them. So they kick her out, not the other 2. And she's living with a grandfather. So the mother and the father put her out of the grandparents. Yeah, y'all got to make this make sense. I would think the Candy ass cult members will be very, very concerned about this background. It needs to be consistent and honest and truthful. Candace, your cousin said that your aunt made sure that you were on the straight path. Your cousin, who claims to be close to you and still spends time with you, was at that meeting between you and Erica Kirk, for 4.5 hours. Said that you grew up in the 89 crew and that you were closest to at least 3 other cousins. So either your cousin lied or you're lying. Because she said you were close to your cousins and that your mother made sure that you and your sisters were on the straight path. And they're going based on what you've said in other interviews. So one instance, the parents put her out at 14. She lived with the boyfriend for 6 months. Other interviews, she said she lived in government housing and her grandparents raised her. and her grandfather is the most important person in her life. The cousin has said, her relative that she's close to and grew up close to, that the aunt made sure that Candace and her sisters were on the straight path. Candace then credits her mom and dad in her yearbook. All these conflicting stories make sense? Candy asks, y'all need to track down them parents and figure out what was going on. Ask them what was her upbringing like, and ask them did they ever put her out the house at 14 years old. Come on, Candy asks, y'all can do it. We're trying to, include you all in something. It'll be a good tool to help you all read and research something. Let me know what you find out. You can make this up.
No, because sometimes her accounts are convenient. So we don't know if those things are consistent. We're going to play a clip a little bit later, but she's talking about how she was kicked out at 14, went to live with her boyfriend for 6 months.
That's what she said.
There's a lot that's going on there, right? In this environment, eventually she's going to make a claim that she was the victim of like sort of a racial crime. This is the very first claim that, and it's not been verified, but in 2005, and I'll just throw this slide up here so that people are keeping up with us as we go through our timeline here, right? Because timelines are good. Yeah. And I want to say a shout out to the National Conservative website, because they released this timeline. They have done the work of taking all of the sort of pieces of Candace Owens's existence that's all around the internet and kind of putting this together in a structured timeline. And so I'm going to be referring to this a lot. But in 2005, according,
she said the national what now? Y'all hear now? She's given so many variations of her background, and yet the cousin said the complete opposite in her interview. Her living up in government housing, growing up, living with her grandparents. These are things that Candace said.
Without a mother.
But the cousin said that the aunt made sure that they were on the straight path. She doesn't even think that Candace ever got in a fight, and she certainly never started one. Of course, the cousin didn't mention anything about the harassment charge that Candace caught at 17, but whatever, because that's court documents. But why not say that the parents kicked her out at 14 if that were the case? And they're close. The cousin's much closer than the Candy Ass Cult members, but whatever. So we can't discredit what the cousin said, who grew up around Candace and is still in her life to this very day. All these conflicting stories about her background and why. Who goes out of their way to make themselves look the worst of the worst? To make their background sound so horrific, but yet no evidence to support any of that. And the cult members refuse to go to the parents and figure out if this is true. Do they have social media? Where's his cousin at? Good grief.
She's growing up without a father. She's being taken care of from time to time by her grandfather and grandmother. At least that's what she said in other places. We don't know, because sometimes her accounts are convenient. So we don't know if those things are consistent. We're going to play a clip a little bit later, but she's talking about how she was kicked out at 14, went to live with her boyfriend for 6 months. There's a lot that's going on there, right?
This is crazy.
In this environment, eventually she's going to make a claim that she was the victim of like sort of a racial crime. This is the very first claim that, and it's not been verified, but in 2005, and I'll just throw this slide up here so that people are keeping up with us as we go through our timeline here, right? Because timelines are good. And I want to say a shout out to the National Conservative website, because they released this timeline. They have done the work of taking all of the sort of pieces of Candace Owens's existence that's all around the internet and kind of putting this together in a structured timeline. And so I'm going to be referring to this a lot. But in 2005, according to the National Conservative, Candace Owens alleges that she was attacked by 3 white girls from her high school while working at Blockbuster. She claims they stomped on her while screaming racial slurs. Owens asserts that they were jealous of her boyfriend and that the attack was eventually stopped by the manager. She alleges the girls were charged with breach of the peace, illegal restraint, and intimidation by bias or bigotry. These claims never appear in her books. This is according to the National Conservative.
This is crazy.
Despite numerous articles from 2008 to 2016 about her NAACP lawsuit against the school, this particular writer says that they couldn't find anywhere that this alleged incident is mentioned. The claims suddenly emerge in 2023 when Vanity Fair profiles her. The story cites actions by 3 girls, a lawyer, and a manager, but gives no names that could allow someone to verify the story. But again, the victim of a racial attack. And that's the first one that we learned in 2023. But then in 2007, Candace Owens and her one-time boyfriend, Evan Kopech, get into an argument 2 days before the racial incident that gets the NAACP in.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Something happened with my internet. What y'all? Hey, you know what? It's all right. And we needed to reset anyway. Can y'all hear me? Oh, dear Lord. Okay, we're back. We're back. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay. We're at the part with the boyfriend thing. I'm trying to find this timeline. Can you all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat. Y'all can hear me? Sounds good. I'm trying to find this timeline. In the National Conservative, right? .com. I'm trying to find that timeline. Y'all, this is so good. This is so good. Okay. Oh, thank y'all. This is so good. Check my email. Okay. Hey, Foxy, how you doing? What's going on? All right, cool. Let me check my email, y'all. This is a great timeline. Okay, it hasn't come through yet. My email is still refreshing. Let's finish this up because she's about to get. Let's see who his boyfriend is. Because oh man, I so want to talk to that person.
The attack was eventually stopped by the manager. She alleges the girls were charged with breach of the peace, illegal restraint, and intimidation by bias or bigotry. These claims never appear in her books. This is according to the National.
Okay, so Tamira Neely touched on this, and she said that there is security footage on this. Has anyone seen any security camera footage on this? This would have been in a Blockbuster. And I'd imagine it's not too far maybe from the school or where she lived. Has anyone seen that video footage? I want to make sure I'm quoting her correctly. She said that there was video footage. Y'all, this is crazy. How you doing? Okay, my email is still refreshing. How you doing, Foxy? Shout out to all my mods. Make sure you drop the YouTube channel link, your YouTube channel link in the chat. Foxy, S-Files, all those who have wrenches and can drop a link, drop it. Don't be ashamed. You even have to ask. She literally, anyone seen that camera footage? 3 girls going into Blockbuster and doing anything to Candace. Tamira said that there is camera footage on that. I was like, where is it? I wish you would have played it.
Conservative. Despite numerous articles from 2008 to 2016 about her NAACP lawsuit against the school, this particular writer says that they couldn't find anywhere that this alleged incident is mentioned. The claims suddenly emerge in 2023 when Vanity Fair profiles her. The story cites actions by 3 girls, a lawyer, and a manager, but gives no names that could allow someone to verify the story.
God.
But again, the victim of a racial attack. And that's the first one that we learned in 2023. But then in 2007, Candace Owens and her one-time boyfriend, Evan Kopech, get into an argument 2 days before the racial incident that gets the NAACP involved and that secures for her family a bag of $37,000. I should have described it that way. It was a settlement, okay, so that the case could be dropped. But it's really interesting what happened back in 2007 with Candace Owens. So apparently, she gets into this screaming match with Evan Kopech, who, from the things that I have read, was at one point her boyfriend. Apparently, in this particular story, they broke up. And he is then calling her dirty. He's yelling, talking about where she lives. Now imagine all of this, and you've got this background.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it is going down. Now, getting back again to the National Conservative, they were both students at Stanford High in Stamford, Connecticut. They engaged in a screaming match at school.
But no evidence.
Kopech, who was described as her former boyfriend over the years, that has not been verified, but he had been described that way. Candace Owens will call him a friend.
Wow.
Maybe a description of convenience, who knows? But Owens says that Kopech masterminded a multi-person campaign of racial harassment, resulting in her getting voicemail messages with death threats and N-words. She accused the police and the school of protecting the perpetrators because she fingered the son of the mayor of Stanford. The mayor's son said he did not know who Owens or Kopech were. So basically, she's saying to the son of the mayor, like, you were involved in this, and they're like, we don't know who what day is it? So the NAACP sued the school on behalf of Candace Owens. Now, what's really
because she had a relative that was a registered member of the NAACP. Because it's funny how they move so quickly on this, but yet situations where you have evidence and proof of the same racial harassment that leads to the unaliving of a young child, the NAACP is nowhere to be found. And they'll tell you, we can't be everywhere at everything all at once. You would think they would look into the more severe cases, right? Candace had a family member registered with the NAACP for years. Why don't we have any evidence on this? You think she would have recorded those calls, did a video or something, kept it on a tape or something, and that there would be a way to hear the voicemail messages? She's so interested in outing people. Where's that evidence?
Interesting is that when you look at this, Candace Owens will say things like, I didn't hold a grudge. Like, I don't want people to suffer. But we'll see that she will use this incident as sort of like the genesis of her social autopsy website, because she was the victim of this type of harassment and bullying, right? But what we learned is that in 2007, she drops out of school for 6 months. She doesn't go back until Evan Kopech was charged and was arrested and charged with harassment and ethnic intimidation. Now, this article says it doesn't appear that he was ever prosecuted, but he was arrested and charged. Now, what's really interesting to me,
wow,
is that you fast forward to October of the same year. You fast forward. Let's go back to our timeline. October of 2007, and Candace Owens herself was arrested for harassment.
Pause. Now, this is something I have not seen. Candace, you talking about Candace TED Talk? I've never seen it. My email still has not updated. So email it to me and we'll definitely look at it tomorrow. Child, they keep trying to throw 7,000 my way. They won't even make it 144,000. 70 times 7. Why not give me 49,000? Why is 7,000 the magic number? Because I haven't seen any receipts or evidence of anyone getting $7,000. I mean, at this point, I'm willing to have Candace pay me the money. Her cult members want me to have this money so bad. Tell your cult leader to send it to me. She's got millions coming in, weaponizing the death of Charlie Kirk. Tell her to send me the $7,000. As a matter of fact, Candace making $49,000. Girl, you look like you beat up by life, Candace. Boy, that karma must be whipping her butt. Candace, we've seen you look all of 316 years old. You can't make this up. Somebody said Candace has nothing in her background. Really? Because, she got charged with harassment. This right here, go get it like. She's been charged with harassment. It's funny how they want to come into my live stream and think they're going to control this platform. You do not. But your cult leader was charged with harassment at 17. And yet she's claiming that her parents kicked her out of the house at 14 years old, and her little fast tail behind lived with a boyfriend for 6 months. I so want to interview Evan Kopech. Is he on X? Does anyone know? Shout out to you, Foxy. There you go. You guys make sure you check out Foxy's YouTube channel, as well as S-Files. I don't see your link yet, S-File. As soon as I see it, I will highlight it. There you go. Show some support over there. Y'all, what the heck? The mayor's son. What? I don't know. So was Evan Kopech was not. It's not the mayor's son. From what I'm seeing here. Okay, I found it. This is American Freedom News. Oh Lord. And this is the nationalconservative.com website. The way it reads is that, hold on. Evan Kopech is not the mayor. That's not the mayor's son, is it? No. So the mayor's son said he did not know who Owens or Kopech were. But she said that the mayor's son, she fingered the son of the mayor. Candace, it sounds so weird. God. And she must have identified the mayor's son to be one of the people that was harassing her. And so the NAACP just sued, and then it's, as opposed to the school like demanding evidence and discovery, yeah, they just sent her a check for $37,500 to drop the lawsuit. It would have been probably because it would have cost them much more to defeat the lawsuit in court. God. So Stanford Mayor Daniel P. Malloy went on to become the governor of Connecticut. No one ever admitted to any wrongdoing. So if this is his last name, then the son's last name, at least, is Malloy. I don't know. Honey, these kids, I don't know who these kids are. Evan Kopech. Owens quit school for 6 months until Evan Kopech. She quit school for 6 months? Is that the 6 months she was living with the boyfriend? Is this the boyfriend she was living with? How was she living with him and his parents had no issues with that? Evan Kopech was charged with harassment and ethnic intimidation. It does not appear that he was ever prosecuted. Are you serious? He was charged? There should be a charging document or an indictment or something. Court documents out here. Whether he was prosecuted or not doesn't mean that he wasn't, like, there's got to be documents of him being charged. So if she quit school for 6 months, no reply, I guess this answers your question. If she was kicked out of the house by her parents, despite her cousin saying that, the mother always makes sure she was on the straight path, and her saying she, in other interviews, bounced around, living with her grandparents and stuff. Is Evan Kopech the boyfriend she lived with for 6 months? Because why would they kick her out and not do anything to the two sisters again? What were the sisters at? This girl had 2 sisters. So she didn't go to school for 6 months, and her parents, y'all, the Board of Education, let me tell you something. The Department of Education and the law will not permit you to escape any penalty if your child does not attend school for 6 damn months. By law, she should have been in school. So what happened to the parents? Why weren't they at least investigated by CPS? This is what I keep trying to tell the Candy Ass Cult members to do. Will you all please go to her parents and find out what the hell happened? Cult members, Candy Asses, I'm talking to you all. Here, let me give you something to do since you're bored. Go to the parents and find out what happened. How did she miss school for 6 months and the parents were never investigated for negligence and for failing to ensure that their minor child was in school? I've been saying this the whole live stream. Go talk to her parents and find out what happened. You all love your dear cult leader so much. Go talk to these parents and find out why they sat here and kicked this girl out the house. And somehow she didn't go to school for 6 months. That's negligent. I would not be able to get away with that as a parent. Who in this chat would be able to get away with that? If your kid does not go to school for 6 months in the state that you live in, You mean to tell me that CPS or DFACS will not investigate you? Because they'll pay a visit to your house where I am. They'll just show up. They won't even give you a heads up. They're like, okay, we're on the way. But the school is going to automatically initiate a case because they're, a required mandatory reporter. They'll automatically forward over a case to Child Protective Services to find out what's going on and why your minor child has not shown up to school in 6 months. I don't know anybody that will be able to do that and get away with it as a parent. Are you kidding? You can't make this up. So exactly. Because the cousin said something completely different and said that the mom and dad, that her aunt, the mom, made sure that they were on the straight path. The mom standing here next to her as she's suing the school board. But somehow, the whole idea that she didn't go to school for 6 months never came up. The board of education never brought that up, saying, hey, your child has not been to school in 6 months. Y'all care to explain that? You know what? Let's go to court. So you all can come to court and testify as to why you let your child miss 6 months of school. Yeah, this is a good idea. Come on to court. Y'all go ahead. We'll keep the lawsuit because we have enough evidence to pin down the parents. They put her at the house at 14. She's been living with some boyfriend and his parents. Because if this Evan Kopech is in school, he's at the very least living with his parents. And then she missed 6 months of school. Yeah, let's go to court so we can figure out why you allowed your child to miss 6 months of school. She didn't go to any school for 6 months. I would not be able to get away with that as a parent. Are you kidding? Y'all, this is crazy to me. This is crazy. I'm just trying to figure out, like Candace said, she was put out the house at 14. Her parents kicked her out the house at 14, and she went to live with a boyfriend for 6 months. Then she said in other interviews that she was bouncing around homes and lived with her grandparents. Now we're seeing this on this website. This is nationalconservative.com. I'll put the article link in the chat. Where it says here, Owens quit school for 6 months until Evan Kopech was charged. What do you mean she quit school for 6 months? As a minor. What do you mean? If nothing else, the school board would have been like, look, you got to put her in another school. We'll let her do like a magnet program or something where she can go to school outside of her district. But this girl got to go to school by law. You mean to tell me there are no laws forcing the parents to make sure that their child is in school in Connecticut? Really? What kind of nonsense is that? You can't make this up. This is all the stuff. And ask a good question. Did she get pregnant? Did Candace get pregnant? Mind you, she said she was living with her boyfriend for 6 months at 14 years old. That's what Candace said in the interview with Russell Brand. She said, I was living with my boyfriend for 6 months when her parents put her out at 14 years old. This lawsuit didn't happen until she was 17. God, this is crazy. See this? 2008, the school district paid her $37,500 to drop the lawsuit. In 2008, she was 17. At the very least, 18 going into college. She said her parents put her out at 14. And she lived with her boyfriend for 6 months. What the hell? And the parents never got investigated for negligence. What kind of damn laws they got in Connecticut, y'all? Oh my God, this is so weird. So her grandparents just sat back and let this happen, even though she said in other interviews she was bouncing around living with her grandparents too. But the cousin said no, the aunt made sure they was on a straight path. She never even got in trouble. And they were close in the 89 crew. You got Candace versus the cousin versus all these articles. And here it's so funny. Parents haven't said anything to debunk or confirm anything. The candy asses could go to them and confirm this stuff, but they refuse to do that because, they're simpletons and all. Why would you not want to go to the parents and say, what the hell? What happened? Did you all really put this girl out at 14 years old? You think the candy asses will be all over that? Nope. They're still dumb. All right, let's get back to this, y'all. This is something else. What y'all?
Why you say, Miki, why are you doing this? Because I want people to understand it is so easy to take a person's history and piece things together to make a narrative. Now, unless we want to go, arrest record for arrest record, was Erica Kirk ever arrested? I don't know. But if we want to talk about criminal leanings and we want to look at criminal familial ties, and we want to go back and start pulling names of people who worked at schools and who had lottery and slot machines and all, you want to do all of this stuff. In 2007, Candace Owens was actually arrested.
Yep.
Again,
for
the National Conservative. Candace Owens was arrested for harassment, according to a local newspaper. She was still 17 at the time, and the records are sealed. The Danbury News Times says her arrest for harassment was not related to Kopech, but to another unknown person.
What the heck?
Hey, are you looking for an engaging...
You can't take this off. Candace, good grief, girl. Oh, man. Oh, my God. All right, do y'all believe that 3 girls jumped her in the Blockbusters? Because Samira Neely said there's some camera footage on that. I want to see it. Candace, when you going to post up these voicemails of this racial stuff going on? Because you claim you have evidence on this. Somehow, we're supposed to believe that her relative, that was a registered member of the NAACP, had zero influence on them moving this fast with filing a lawsuit against the entire Board of Education. And yet, the Board of Education did not go after her parents for allegedly, as Candace put it, putting her out of the house at 14 years old, where she lived with a boyfriend for 6 months. God knows who that one is. Candace, you a fast tail. You can't make this up, y'all. This is crazy. Ooh, we got to watch this whole video. I want to get to Ami, y'all, because we got to get some laugh in.
All right, you.
Oh, my God. Y'all, this has been eye-opening. For those of you who are late, you're going to have to catch the replay. But Candace has gone in several interviews and gave various versions of her background and her upbringing. She never mentions this harassment charge. She still has no proof or evidence to show that she has earned 2 degrees, because she said she did in English and in journalism. No evidence of that at all. And when she's asked about her education, she doesn't even bring it up. But now all of a sudden, after Piers Morgan had to embarrass her a little bit, now all of a sudden there are 2 degrees, and she has not shown either. No degree at all. And her cult members think she's so smart and intelligent, because of this kerfluffle. It's the architecture of it all. Dear Lord. Let's get to this, y'all. Shout out to Ami. Mama love you. This is his impression on Candace Owens, U.S. men's hockey. I haven't seen this. I have been resisting the urge to watch this so that I can see it with you all. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Candy asks, y'all got some homework to do. Go find out where the parents are and ask them, why did they put this child out at 14 years old? If that is even true, because the cousin has said something completely different in her interview. Funny how that never came up. I would think that this is a cousin that is still in her life that was at the meeting that Candace had with Erica Kirk in Tennessee. You know, that 4.5 hour meeting that somehow they didn't even bother to record. That same cousin, we watched a bit of her interview earlier, was at that meeting. They call it the 89 Club. It's like 3 or 4 cousins all born in the same year around the same time. And Candace is close to them. And you don't think that she would have told her cousins, hey, my parents just kicked me out the house and I'm going to live with my boyfriend for 6 months. You don't think she would tell her cousins that? You really think her father would allow her to be kicked out of the house as a 14-year-old girl or her grandfather? But yet the other 2 sisters, you don't hear anything about that. No issues in the home. You don't hear any strife they've had with their parents. But when we see the yearbook, we saw the yearbook, came up in Joshua Carr video. She gives credit to her parents. Her mother is in this photograph, standing next to her. Behind her, this got to be her father back here. Is that her father right there? You got a mother that was there at this press conference, at this presser. She got a whole press conference. She also had a relative registered with the NAACP for years. That kind of helps bring some attention to your situation, especially when you're claiming that this happened and you have not produced any evidence to show proof. I have no reason to believe everything Candace says, especially when she has relatives that she's close to giving conflicting stories. But she doesn't ever talk about this charge she caught at 17 for harassment. She was actually charged and arrested. So, why would the cousin, somehow, the cousin mentioned, she had that little one incident thing, whatever. Why would the cousin not say, no, her mom kicked her out the house at 14 years old? If it were true, why wouldn't the cousin say that? That would garner more sympathy for Candace, if that be the case. If that's what she's trying to do. You know what the cousin talked about? My aunt made sure they were on the straight path. Candace always wanted to go to Hollywood and be an actor. She was always well connected with celebrities. You don't even hear the cousin talk about the actual arrest or this incident. She didn't even bring it up. Or anything about Blockbuster and 3 girls jumping her. If there's video footage on that, I want to see it. Wouldn't that actually help Candace? If that be the case? And she truly was jumped by 3 girls? Why wouldn't she put that to the limelight? Push that to the front? If she wants to garner sympathy and attention, what better way to do it than to show the video of 3 girls jumping you in a Blockbuster, right? But why haven't we seen the video footage? Candace can dox everybody else and put up everything else about everyone else. But you mean to tell me you have an opportunity to garner sympathy by alleging 3 girls jumped you in a Blockbuster and there's video footage to show that, and you don't show the video footage? Why? You don't play the voicemail related to this racial harassment that led to this settlement? Why? Why not produce the evidence? Produce those 2 degrees you claim you earned. Why does she ever produce evidence on this? She never even divulges why her parents would kick her out of the house at 14. How old was his boyfriend again? Candace, there's no way in the world this boy is going to let you live in his house with him and his mama. And she does not report this to Child Protective Services. Hopefully, the boyfriend's parents have some sense and realize, nope, We're not getting caught up in that mess. Girl, you need to go home. Either I'm calling your parents or I'm calling CPS. Which you want? You can't live here. I'm not taking care of you for 6 months. How do you get away with not going to school for 6 months? Make it make sense? This is so crazy. I wonder if she paying Vanity Fair to say all this stuff about her to make it seem like, that, this is just so horrific. Seriously. 3 girls, Candace. If they're camera footage, just play the video. You think the candy asses will be all over that? No. God, this is ridiculous. Y'all, let's get it out right. Let's end this out right. Let's get to it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you all. Candy asses are mad, but whatever. Go find out what happened with the parents. All right. The parents put her out the house at 14 years old. Go find out. Can't make this up. Go talk to the parents. Y'all go track them parents down. Find out what happened. And see here, they're not hurting my feelings. Go talk to her parents and see if it's true that they put her out the house at 14. Because you should find that peculiar and odd. And honestly, let me tell you something. If that is true, the parents should have been investigated. That's what Candace said. My parents put me out the house 14. They stopped caring for me financially. I lived with a boyfriend for 6 months at 14 years old. If all of that happened and it is true, the parents should have been investigated and charged for negligence. There are laws against that. We're held accountable for our kids. Funny how somehow that escapes CPS and defects. You can't make it up. It's illegal. Exactly. That would be illegal. Foxy, shout out to you. She says, per Google, there is no credible information or video footage of 3 girls stomping on Candace Owens at a Blockbuster video store. News reports and official sources do not contain any record. And what's so crazy is this article's here. It seems like Candace has people. She said so much stuff in all these different interviews that she makes it impossible to try to verify. And see, me, Candace, I'm going to go straight to the source. If I'm going to talk to anybody, it's going to be your parents. It's going to be your grandparents. Because I'm a parent, and I would not be able to get away with doing that. And our boys, it was you and 2 other sisters. Y'all are girls. But her yearbook message to her mom and dad didn't reflect any hostility at all. Her cousin said nothing of the sorts at all. Cousin make it seem like she's an angel. She never gets in trouble. Never initiated a fight. None of that. Never even talked about the arrest. You getting 2 different extreme backgrounds here. Between a cousin that's close to her and Candace herself. And Candace has given so many variations of her background. You can't even really verify. She doesn't leave any legitimate evidence at all. So the candy ass cult members could get their mommy slews on and go impersonate investigators and talk to her parents and track her down. Track both of them down. And find out what happened. If you find them on social media, let me know. I would love to sit down and talk to her parents and figure out what the heck happened. Why are you putting this girl out of 14? Track down them parents, candy asses. Yeah, do me one favor, because you guys come in my chat at your own peril. Do me one favor. Go find her parents for me. Let me know when you do. All right, y'all, let's get to this. Get to Ami and get some laugh in. Let's go. Good day. Oh no! Candace. Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, this is priceless. Oh, that's priceless. Canada. Candace. Hold on. You can't hear? Y'all didn't hear? Y'all, this is definitely. Can y'all hear me? Oh, y'all couldn't hear. Oh, y'all missed it. It was so funny. Hold on. Let me play it again. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. We can watch it again. That was too funny. Hold on. Why is it cycling?
See, the same event. If all things are supposed to be.
Oh.
All right, you guys.
Can y'all see it and hear it now? Y'all, this was so funny. I could watch it again. Oh, my dear Lord. Y'all can hear me, but not the video. Jesus. Look at it. Jesus, fix it.
Today on the show, we're going to be discussing a big story in the Olympics. We all saw Jack Hughes, a Jewish hockey player, somehow scored the winning goal against Canada. Somehow.
Okay, let me go back.
All right, you guys, today on the show, we're going to be discussing a big story in the Olympics. We all saw Jack Hughes, a Jewish hockey player, somehow scored the winning goal against Canada. Somehow, magically, at some point at the very end of the game, he was able to score a winning score against Canada. It seems very obvious. It's so obvious that the puck was Mossad, was connected to Mossad in some way. These white hockey players were hitting a black puck, like the black neck of a black woman. Was Ben Shapiro involved? I don't know. We'll see. Somehow the puck may have been Mossad. We're going to talk about that. We're going to discuss that. And the referees may have been to Epstein's Island. I was watching how they were skating and they were making an interesting pattern on the ice. We're going to look at that. I think it's important also to notice that at no point during the game did they bring out the Zamboni. They never brought out the Zamboni. And the ice didn't seem to be melting, even though it was clearly 30 degrees. It was definitely 30 degrees in the rink at the time, but at no point did the ice melt. It's all very curious. It's all very interesting. We're going to be covering that. We're covering that on today's show. See you then, guys.
Oh, my God. Canada. You can't make this up. Oh, Canada. Oh, good grief. Oh, dear Lord. Y'all, you got to laugh, man. Oh, yep. Listen, you got to laugh. Yeah. Oh, good grief. You got to laugh to keep from like going off. You can't make this up. Candace, Canada. Matter your Candace a vocabulary lesson. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, child. That was too funny. Oh, we love Army. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm going to respond to Gary and we'll set some up and hopefully have a collab with Gary with Paramount Tactical next week. And you guys, as always, give me your feedback. Like I said, I haven't really seen the live from what occurred with the guest that he had. But, you know, if you guys aren't comfortable, please let me know. And I ask for your honest opinion with that. If you guys are cool with the LLC collabing with Gary from Paramount Tactical, then I will respond and let him know the best day and time for next week. and hopefully we'll be joining Gary on his show. And it's cool because I haven't seen the one he did with Tamira, but I'm sure that was a good one to watch. So give me your honest feedback with that, because I want everybody to be comfortable here, especially my ardent supporters and members and mods. I want you guys to be comfortable the most. All right. Thank y'all so much. This was so much fun. Y'all, this is Child Ami is my boyfriend in the next lifetime, y'all. Can't make this up. I appreciate it. I love collabs. I do. I just wanted to make sure, you guys are good with it. But I'm gonna make sure that I reach out to him. And we're gonna be live again tomorrow, all right? And we'll cover Marlon. You guys see I have the video lined up regarding his coverage on her Sandy Hook connection. We just asking questions, Candace. Don't make me get a hold of your parents. I would really love to have an interview with them. I'm serious. I have a lot of questions. Your daughter is running around here talking about y'all put her at the house at 14. You can't make this up. Y'all hit the like button to the candy asses. Y'all got some homework to do. Find Candace's parents. Let me know. Because we got a question to ask them about them allegedly putting her at the house. I'm sure you all want to know if that happened as well. So find her parents on social media. All right. Thank y'all so much. Be good. And I will see you all in the next one. Until then, later let club out. Deuces.